tried to replace you with something new. Whilst my body dries, heartbreak along the ground. Dancing about the idea of you. Whilst you decide if I belong to lost and found. You know I'm dying to reach out to you. I'm trying but you can't see. You just hear me. I'm crying 'cause I can't feel you. My heart's sinking to my feet. I'm lying 'cause I can't touch you. Why can't you just hear me? You always lie. I tried to get on with somebody that's not you. Must I hide the pain that sits before my eyes? Dreaming about the idea of you. Whilst you decide if I fall or if I fly. You know I'm dying to reach out to you. Trying but you can't see. 'Cause my calls never come through. Why can't you just hear me? I'm crying 'cause I can't feel you. My heart's sinking to my feet. I'm lying 'cause I can't touch you. Why can't you just hear me? Into my feet. I'm lying 'cause I can't touch you. Why can't you just hear me?
I am
all of the waves, they keep chasing after me. Even though we are out of reach, I can feel the water on my feet. The things that you said to me, they will grow inside, they make believe. I am still dancing on the feelings that you gave me. I am still dancing on the feelings that you give me.
Thank you. That was weird. Oh.
I need to fix it, otherwise you will never change your screen. Turn off studio mode.
Ah. Thank you.
Oh, wait, but it's on Base Rebels for your live.
Yes.
Okay, well, you're on solo.
Thank you. Okay. Hello, everybody. Sorry about that. Spittlebuggies. This is the correct stream. You are in the correct place. Hello, hello, hello. Hopefully you can hear me now. But, yes, today is going to be a very interesting day in our streaming situation, because hooray sound, thank you Pincalo. Yes, exactly, thank you Pincalo. What would we do without Pincalo? Nothing. That's what we would do. So the finance minister has resigned from Parliament, from cabinet, which basically means she's also the deputy prime minister. And now the finance minister is the guy who was accused of pretending to be native to get money for his company. So that's the interim finance minister right now. And it's crazy. It is absolutely insane what's going on right now. Nobody knows whether Trudeau's going to resign or not, or prorogue Parliament.
The Liberals are focused on themselves.
We're here for question period. We've got a bunch of stuff going on. I'm going to back it up to try to put it to
I'd like to highlight today the work of an extraordinary
oral questions.
The foundation for so massively a further delivery into
Or are we still on statements?
lost jobs, lost homes.
I think we are.
Of refugees in Canada. Terror wars with allies. One man's ego is not worth this cost. No single person matters more than our country. Team Canada wants the Prime Minister to take his own advice and do the right
Yeah,
thing.
it's crazy.
Call an election
They've
now.
quit. She quit cabinet because she was at odds with Trudeau, because Trudeau wanted her to basically spend more than even she wanted to spend, which is insane considering that she wanted to keep spending and spending and spending.
I see that the honourable member from Dartmouth Cole Harbour is wearing his finery today, so I can only imagine what this is about. I'm certain all members will want to give their attention. The honourable member.
Thank you very much, Mr. We're muzzled. Our investments in housing have all PP puzzled. Their party won't talk.
Wait, what is this?
It was a week before Christmas. Conservative MPs were muzzled. Our investments in housing have all PP puzzled.
Have old oh my god. Oh no, we're not doing a fucking rhyme with PP. Oh Jesus.
Talk about foreign interference. For Christmas, will their leader get his security clearance? Dental care, child care.
What a
more will
terrible
there be?
Christmas
School food
rhyme.
and pharmacare. Thanks to the NDP.
Oh my god. That's so cringy. This is so goddamn cringy. This is terrible. This is horrifying. What the hell?
They tore up our deal, they started to gloat. But guess what happened on the next confidence vote? Supply management and seniors. The Bloc has lots to say. I don't really understand.
I was
Mr.
watching your
Speaker,
VOD
je
when
ne
you went
parle
live,
pas
so maybe fun.
français.
Okay.
To calm caucus rebels, we cut the GST. A small gift from the Liberals and me. Groceries are high, there's trouble with the mail. But we still have a chance to win Cloverdale?
Oh.
Now,
This is cringy and horrifying at the same time. This is bad. This is really, really, really ugh. Ugh.
Mr. Speaker, it's not a contest, so I don't mean to brag, but it's only our leader whose name is on a flag.
It's on a flag for a reason, you idiot.
One final thought, though, Mr. Speaker. One final thought, though. Canada ain't broke, though I will admit we may be a bit woke. Mr. Speaker, colleagues, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, too. May we all get a Christmas card from a Randy or two.
Oh my god, that was horrifying. That was a conservative MP that did that. I don't care how much I think the Conservative Party has the right answer right now. That was cringy as hell. Don't ever do that again.
Oral questions. Questions orales.
The speakers, Craig doesn't even know what the fuck to say to that.
The Honourable Leader of the Official Opposition.
Ooh, is this the good translator?
Mr. Speaker, the Prime Minister
It is.
has lost control.
Big time. He's lost control of
But
everything.
he is clinging to power. We knew that he had lost control of the voters, of immigration, of spending, of inflation, of the cost of housing. But now he has lost control of his cabinet.
Yep.
The Vice Prime Minister, the Deputy Prime Minister, the Minister of Finance has stepped down, and she stepped down.
Your mail service said unavailable to the United States except through outside carrier services. They have bigger problems than I realized. Yeah, it's the Canada Post went on strike for a month. And the government had to put a forced back to work order in place.
Hours before presenting Canada's fall economic statement with an enormous deficit. When will we have an election?
Good question.
L'honorable leader du gouvernement à la Chambre des communes.
Oh my god, Trudeau couldn't even be bothered to show up to Parliament for this? Seriously? Chrystia Freeland has resigned today, and Trudeau couldn't even be bothered to show up.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Our government is looking forward to presenting the economic statement this afternoon.
Who is going to do it, Randy? The other Randy? Is that who's going to do it? Oh, this will be great.
To thank the member for University Rosedale for everything that she has done for this country. Economic statement this afternoon. And
Yeah.
I would like to take this opportunity
No.
to thank the member for University Rosedale for everything that she has done for this country and everything that she will continue to do for this country. Her accomplishments make quite a long list, and her place in history is assured, and we are very proud of everything that she has done for this government.
That's not an answer to when will we have an election. That's thank you, Chrystia Freeland, for your service.
L'honorable chef de l'opposition.
Yet he clings to power. He's lost control of immigration, lost control of the borders, lost control of spending, deficits, inflation, housing costs. In fact, his former, currently, finance minister was trying to get spending under control by capping the deficit at an already crazy $40 billion. But he took carbon.
Huh? No. But the government house leaders just answered a question.
Tax Carney's advice and pushed her beyond that guardrail and was trying to throw her off the cliff. She's now resigned minutes before presenting her
Is Chrystia Freeland going to seek opposition cabinet placement because of all the abuse? No. No, she won't. She will stay a Liberal for sure. Maybe go independent.
Update. This cannot go on. When will we have a carbon tax elected?
Honorable Leader of the Government in the House of Commons.
Yeah, that's Karina Gould is standing up for the Liberal Party right now. It's not Justin Trudeau. It's not anybody else. It's Karina Gould.
Mr. Speaker, our government looks forward to presenting the fall economic statement later this afternoon. But I would also like to take this opportunity to extend my gratitude for all that the member from University Rosedale has accomplished for this country and will continue to do
whisper
for
that.
this country. She has played an integral role in this government. First of all, standing up for Canada and defending.
Standing up for Canada? Where has Chrystia Freeland stood up for Canada? Like, seriously, where has Chrystia Freeland ever stood up for Canada other than for herself?
Bringing forward universal childcare and the incredible work that she has
Hey,
done
Costin.
defending Ukraine. We are very grateful for all that she's contributed to this government and to Canada. Thank you.
What? She looks like a nun. Did she claim abuse? She claimed that her and Trudeau were at odds for the past few weeks. And that Trudeau said on Friday that he didn't want her to be... What the heck? That he didn't want her to be on the... just a second, guys. Oh, shit, I missed it.
Alright. Let me do you a favor real quick.
Okay.
Let me read you this pause. Let us update the people who haven't read the letter of resignation.
Okay.
Because you can read the subtext in this. I won't do funny voices. I'll try not to. Dear Prime Minister. Dear Prime Minister. Okay, I'll stop. God, I hate reading these things. It's been an honor. It's been the honor of my life to serve in government, working for Canada and Canadians. We have accomplished a lot together. On Friday, you told me you no longer want me to serve as your finance minister and offered me another position in the cabinet. Sound familiar?
It does.
Upon reflection, I have concluded that the only honest and viable path is for me to resign from the cabinet. To be effective, a minister must speak on behalf of the Prime Minister and with his full confidence. In making your decision, you made clear that I no longer credibly enjoy that confidence and possess the authority that comes with it. For the past number of weeks, you and I have found ourselves at odds about the best path forward for Canada. Our country today faces a grave challenge. The incoming administration in the U.S. is pursuing a policy of aggressive economic nationalism, including a threat of a 25% tariff. That's kind of true.
Yeah.
We need to take that threat extremely seriously. That means keeping our fiscal powder dry today. So we have the reserves we need for a coming tariff war. Then stop giving our money away. That means eschewing costly political gimmicks which we can ill afford and which make Canadians doubt that we recognize the gravity of the moment. That means pushing back against America First economic nationalism with a determined effort to fight for capital and investment and the jobs they bring. That means working in good faith and humility with the premiers of the provinces and territories of our great and diverse country, and building a true Team Canada response.
Oh, God.
I know Canadians would recognize and respect such an approach. They know when we were working for them, and they equally know when we are focused on ourselves. Inevitably, our time in government will come to an end, but how we deal with the threat our country currently faces will define us for generations and perhaps longer. Canada will win if we are strong, smart, and united. It is this conviction which has driven my strenuous efforts this fall to manage our spending in ways that will give us the flexibility we will need to meet the serious challenges presented to the U.S. Interesting.
What?
Oh, driven. I mistranslated that in my head.
Ah.
I will always be grateful for the chance to have served the government, and I will always be proud of our government's work for Canada and Canadians. I look forward to continuing to work with my colleagues as a Liberal Member of Parliament, and I am committed to running again for my seat in Toronto in the next federal election.
So there, she's not running.
Well, if she's running to keep her seat, she might be running for leadership, but she just might not be running. She has. Once Polyev gets elected, she has 4 years to train.
Yep. That's sad. I bet she's less liberal than some of the opposition at the moment. I don't know about that. Spittle buggies.
Leader of the opposition.
For the finance minister. Who are you? Who are you?
The honorable leader of the opposition.
For the finance minister.
Who are you?
Who are you?
Okay, this is for the finance minister. Who are you? That's another good question.
The Honourable Leader of the Government in the House of Commons.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, at a time when Canadians are struggling, we are happy to bring forward measures that are going to assist them. Things like the GST tax cut that took place starting this past Saturday.
Just answer the question. Who's the fucking finance minister?
The Conservative leader and the members of his caucus stay focused on us. We're going to stay focused on helping Canadians.
Oh, yes.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Mr. Speaker, it was a serious question. Who
is the finance minister?
Is the finance minister?
Yeah, that's a very serious question. And we have a right to know who the damn finance minister is.
After the finance minister's resignation this morning, automatically the industry minister became Minister of Finance. And congratulations. But he immediately quit. After him, in the line of precedence, it was the two Randys. Well, they don't want it.
So even Randy Boissonneau doesn't want it.
So
who is the finance minister?
Have a finance minister just a couple of minutes before the fall economic statement will be presented. So
the tariffs are about continuing to bleed money we can't be continuing to give away. Oh, I do blame Trudeau for the rock in the hard place thing. I absolutely do.
Where's the minister?
The Honourable Leader of the Government.
The Honourable Leader of the Government in the House of Commons. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As I said, our government is looking forward to presenting the fall economic statement later this afternoon.
When? And who's going to be doing it?
There are important measures in that update, measures that are important for Canadians. It's time for the leader of the Conservatives to recognize that while he's focused on us, we are focused on Canadians.
No, you're not. You're not focused on Canadians. What the fuck are you talking about? You're focused on how to get out of this mess you're in.
Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Mr. Speaker, just to underline the chaos we're faced with
Obama
here,
did it too.
The finance minister resigned the day she was to present the fall budget, which was going to contain a massive deficit overrun. The job then went automatically to the industry minister, who immediately resigned, like on the spot, which then went down the line, and the next person in order was the famous two Randys. And they're not available to do the job either. We're now less than 2 hours away from the fall economic update. Why won't the Prime Minister have the courage to come in here, present it himself, and put it for a confidence vote tonight?
That's a good question. Where is the Prime Minister? Good job for Polyev pointing that out. Why is the Prime Minister not in Parliament to present the fall economic statement, considering that there are no finance ministers?
like to remind all members, as I did during statements today, for members to be careful not to refer to other sitting members by their names, but
Oh,
to use
shut up.
their titles or to use their writing names. The Honourable Leader of the Government in the House of Commons.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Well, Mr. Speaker, while the Leader of the Opposition continues to play politics in this place, we look forward...
He's not playing politics, Karina. He's asking serious questions that need answering. Hello? Why is she whispering?
It will have a series of important measures for Canadians. Things that are going to help them with the affordability challenges, that are going to put Canada, Canadian jobs, and the Canadian economy first. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I would like to ask the honourable member from St. Albert, Edmonton, to please not take the floor when he is not recognized by the speaker.
Well, the member's like, "Where's the Prime Minister?" Which is a very good question.
The Honourable Member for La Prairie.
Okay, I like this translator. It's the good translator.
We already knew that between 20 and 40 Liberal MPs no longer had confidence in the Prime Minister. We also knew that 8 ministers would be jumping ship. Today, the Minister of Finance decided to step down instead of presenting the fall economic statement. She wrote, black and white, that she disagrees with the Prime Minister on the best path forward for Canada. So she has also taken away her confidence in the Prime Minister. We are watching this government, this Liberal government, fall apart, and it's pretty ugly to see. Will the Prime Minister call an election? The Honourable Government House Leader. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I would like to thank my colleague for his question. As I mentioned, as a government, we are looking forward to presenting the fall economic statement later this afternoon.
They keep saying that, but who's gonna do it? Who's gonna be the one who's presenting that statement?
There are important measures in there for Canadians when it comes to affordability in particular, and we are exclusively focused on Canadians.
No,
and
you're
we
not.
will continue to protect Canadian economy and Canadian jobs. The Honourable Member for La Prairie. The Deputy Prime Minister has quit because of the Liberals' electoral handouts. She said that Canadians know when we're working for them and when we're focused on ourselves.
Yep.
Mr. Speaker, people can see through their political games. Quebecers don't want these political handouts. Businesses don't want them. Even the Finance Minister doesn't want them. The only person who wants these is the NDP leader and the Prime Minister of Canada. Will they finally stop sabotaging Canada's economy for, so they can buy votes?
That's exactly what they're doing. That's exactly what they're doing. Is they're just buying votes, and everybody knows it.
The Honourable Leader of the Government in the House of Commons.
Did he just say the Honourable Leader de Government? Oh my God.
And once again, I would like to thank my colleague for his question. Cutting
Fury
the GST
kitten.
on essentials for Canadians is something that's important for many Canadians. And I've heard from many people in my riding who have said that this is something that is important for them. Restaurants, small and medium-sized businesses say that this is something that's important for them, and we are proud of having put that motion forward.
I'm sure you are. I'm sure you're happy that I'm sure that Canadians are super happy with this GST break. Yes, yes.
The Honourable Member from Burnaby South.
People can't afford their groceries. People can't afford.
You don't care about that.
All their own. And the Conservatives are
Order! Order!
Did I get some sleep? Nope. I did not. I've had a lot of coffee.
The honourable member from Burnaby South from the top, please.
Canadians literally cannot afford the groceries they need.
And you literally do not care about that.
They can't afford to find a home to call their own. And now Trump, buddies of the conservatives, MAGA conservatives love this guy.
MAGA conservative. Dude! Oh my god, Singh. What the Jesus Christ. I'm gonna need alcohol money in a second. Come on, guys. PayPal me up. Wait, PayPal.me/blindpress.
in Canada. And the Prime Minister is more focused on himself, on infighting. The Prime Minister cannot remain in that position. Will he resign?
You had a chance to make it so that he did oh my god. You literally 7 days ago had the chance to vote no confidence and you didn't. Oh my god, Singh. Yes, golf clap for you.
The Honourable Minister for Innovation.
Mr. Speaker, this is not the time for slogan.
Oh look, it's our favorite yelly Frenchman. It's our favorite yelly Frenchman.
This is not the time for partisanship. This is not a time to make jokes, Mr. Speaker. This is about rallying for Canadians.
You fell asleep to my stream last night? Oh, good. Okay, a heavily cranked and possibly cranky BP. Good luck, Pink Hollow.
Time where Canadians needs to know that this House and all the members are standing behind them, that we're going to invest in Canadians, that we're going to invest in this country, that we're going to invest in our workers, and that we're going to invest in our industry, Mr. Speaker, and that we're going to be
oh my god, he's actually sounding calm today.
To be the best prepared to be able to deal with our U.S. friends. Mr. Speaker, this is the time where we show that we're all Canadians.
What the hell does that mean?
The Honourable Member for Burnaby South.
So I'll ask again in French. Les gens de la misère.
People are having a very hard time paying for groceries. Young people can't find affordable housing. And beyond that, we have the threat of Trump's tariffs. And that's putting hundreds of thousands of jobs in Canada in danger. And instead of dealing with issues that are important for Canadians, the Prime Minister is dealing with fighting in his own party. It's clear that the Prime Minister cannot continue. Will he resign today, yes or no?
AI keeps trying to sound human. Yeah, you can't make Chrystia Freeland or the Minister for Innovation sound human.
The Honourable Minister of Innovation. Mr. Speaker, as I said, this isn't a time for jokes. This isn't a time for partisanship. It's certainly not a time for conservative slogans, Mr. Speaker. It's time, Mr. Speaker, to work together as parliamentarians to defend Canada, to invest in Canada, to...
This is so cringy. This is, nobody buys this.
Defend our workers, to invest in our industry. And Mr. Speaker, I call on all members of this House to do their civic duty to work for the good of Canada so that we can face the incoming American
Just
administration.
doing my
Mr.
civic
Speaker, today
duty,
we are
sir.
all Canadians. Let's work together.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Mr. Speaker, the NDP leader is absolutely right. This cannot continue.
I love how he's just like, sure, I'll use his words against him. Fine, let's do it.
This Prime Minister cannot go on like this. Housing costs have doubled. Food bank use has doubled. The debt has doubled. Gun crime has doubled. And now we face troubling tariff threats from a president who can see weakness coming from a mile away.
He makes Governor Trudeau jokes. That cannot be allowed. I'm sorry. A leader of another country cannot be especially an allied country, cannot be making jokes about annexing another country. That's not okay.
This job, but there's only one person who can remove him, and that's the leader of the NDP. Will he put the country ahead of his pension and vote for a carbon tax election now?
No, he won't. Because he's all fucking talk. That's all he is. Mute the microphone. Quick, mute the microphone. There's things going on. Howdy all, what have you missed? You've missed a bunch of nonsense about Freeland quitting. We're talking about who is the finance minister, because Champagne doesn't want it. Randy Boissonneau doesn't want it. Oh, they're talking about Freeland, all right. That's pretty much all they've been talking about is Freeland.
So, although the preamble to that question dealt with the administration of government, the question itself did not. And
I looked at the numbers this weekend, and Canada's in way worse than I thought, and that is using their numbers. Yep. Hey, Ghost Dog.
Be clear that we're not doing that. The honourable member from Thornhill.
Prime Minister has lost control.
The
Prime Minister's own deputy quit just hours before her
yes,
economic
guys,
statement. All
please,
of a sudden saying,
fucking
own deputy.
PayPal.me/blindpress. We really need the Streamlabs donations here today.
Prime Minister has lost control. The Prime Minister's own deputy quit just hours before her economic statement. All of a sudden saying, Canadians know when we're focused on ourselves, and describing a newfound disdain for costly political gimmicks. Those are her quotes. This after her...
Christian quit, hey Rex. What was I gonna say? So Christia quit her cabinet post. So she's still an MP, but she quit her cabinet post.
Own political rival, Mark Carney, wrote the fall economic statement full of things that she didn't want to present. The old boys club isn't in charge. Canadians are. Right. And it's time for credible leadership in the seriousness of this moment, not the fake feminism of this phony prime minister. It's time for Canadians to decide. So will anyone or everyone over there finally agree?
Yeah. Yes. Let's do it.
The Honourable Leader of the Government in the House of Commons.
Oh look, Karina Gould is whispering again.
Economic statement that is going to have a series of important measures for Canadians. At a time like this, it is important that all of us band together, united as Canadians, to make sure that we're doing everything we can to protect the Canadian economy, protect Canadian jobs.
I want to hear more from Landsman. Yeah, Melissa Landsman is great. I really, really enjoy Melissa Landsman. She is a wonderful speaker and a wonderful MP.
The honourable member for Thornhill.
Mr. Speaker, they can't even stand by each other. Hours before delivering the fiscal update, the finance minister resigned. She lost confidence in the prime minister.
God damn it, I hate Gould. I know. What is with the whispery voice? Like, she thinks she can do what Polyev does with the soft talking.
Minister and the worst immigration minister in the history of this country also resigned. A couple of Randys, and now they're up to 9 ministers that need to be replaced. He's lost control of the government. The party of backroom boys is over. The backbench should look up from their laptops, and the NDP leader shouldn't be the only one in this house with confidence in the prime minister. Present the statement and call a vote today.
Yes. Exactly. Exactly. Jesus. Who's presenting the report? We have no idea. That's going to be something that we're going to be exploring on stream today after question period.
Again, I'm just going to, for the last time, order.
Everybody shut up.
Order. I'm going to ask members once again to remind themselves not to refer to members by their first names. The Honourable Minister for Housing, Infrastructure and Communities.
Now, Mr. Speaker, I'm not sure who she's talking about, but I'm still here for now. I can
No, you're not running for re-election, though. That's the thing. You're not running for re-election.
Mr. Speaker, there are two kinds of people who run for office in politics. There are people who want to do something, and there are people who want to be somebody. And I can tell you, on our side of the house, we want to do things. We want to build the houses to make sure families can afford to keep a roof over their heads. We want to make sure families can afford to keep their food on the table to feed their kids.
What the fuck? How can you say that with a straight face?
We want to make sure people can find a job to go to that gives them a sense of pride and allows them to contribute to their
I
community.
think Justin should table it. I think you're right, Michael.
Essays about why he should be prime minister since he was a teenager.
I think you're right.
The honourable member for Calgary Nose Hill.
On Friday, the Prime Minister told Canada's first female finance minister but she was fired, but to keep sweet and present their wildly overspent budget on Monday so that he and an unelected man, Mark Carbon Tax Carney, wouldn't have to take the blame for their broken budget. He then, unbothered, released a video of him making cinnamon buns to get the women folks' vote.
What?
How can any woman in that caucus defend that man instead of calling for an election now?
That's a good question. How can you allow that kind of sexist bullshit to go on? And like, that is fucking terrible.
Here, here. The orders. The Honourable Leader of the Government in the House of Commons.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I didn't realize cinnamon buns were a gendered food, but what I would
What
say
the
is
fuck?
that her question says more about how that member and Conservative members view women in this country than anything else. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
No, that shows how Justin Trudeau views women in this country, not how the Conservatives view women. What the fuck are you talking about, Karina?
Nose Hill.
Are facing violence in the streets. They can't afford groceries. They can't afford to buy presents for their kids.
Wait,
for
the
holidays.
women's don't
They
like
can't
cinnamon
afford
buns?
anything.
Apparently
Canadian
not.
women are far worse off under this fake feminist prime minister. And now he fired Canada's first female finance minister because she dared question him. That sounds pretty familiar. No strong women exists in that caucus.
Nope.
Why would any woman defend this man instead of calling for an election?
That's a good question. And there is no strong woman in that caucus. Karina Gould certainly isn't a strong woman.
The Honourable Leader of the Government in the House of Commons.
You know, Mr. Speaker, I have a lot of respect for that member opposite, but I think she's speaking from her own experience with the leader of the official opposition when she said that she wasn't going to support him and then spent a year in the hinterlands, Mr. Speaker. But what I will
What
say
the
is
fuck?
that when it comes to actually doing things that support women, we have done that on this side of the House. Whether it's affordable child care that is making it possible for hundreds of thousands of women
Affordable child care. I can barely understand what she's saying. Why is she whispering?
making contraceptions free, or the Canada Child Benefit that is helping families pay the bills. And what do Conservative members of Parliament do every time? They vote against them. So
Because you shouldn't be federalizing any of those programs. That's why they vote against them.
speak louder than words, Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable Member for Wellington Halton Hills.
Mr. Speaker, this Prime Minister has lost control. He's lost control of the economy. He's lost control of immigration. He's lost control of so many files. And now he's lost control of the government. It's long past time for an election. This Prime Minister has sat too long here for any good that he has been doing. In the name of God, will he go to Rideau Hall, call an election, and end the chaos?
Wow. In the name of God. That's crazy.
The Honourable Leader of the Government in the House of Commons.
What? That was Michael Chong? Wow. That's crazy. He actually invoked the name of God.
Mr. Speaker, as you well well know, and as every member in this place knows, just because a Conservative member of Parliament wishes something does not mean that it actually happens. But what happened over the past couple of weeks, Mr. Speaker, is the government secured the confidence of this House.
No, it didn't. It just barely survived the confidence votes because of the NDP.
The government does enjoy the confidence of this House, Mr. Speaker, and that is why we will be presenting the fall economic statement later today, which we look forward to sharing.
Only meek, submissive woman on the Liberal side. Yep.
The Honourable Member for La Prairie.
Way to quote the name, or way to quote the UK parliamentarians. For all the good you have done in the name of God, go.
We're watching a historic
Is
moment
that what
here.
that
The
was
Deputy
from?
Prime Minister quit, saying that she disagreed with the Prime Minister on the path forward for Canada. The Deputy Prime Minister no longer has confidence in this Prime Minister to govern. Her lack of confidence is added to that of 8 other ministers. The Prime Minister can't claim to have the confidence of the people if he doesn't even have the confidence of his own ministers. Will he do the democratic thing and put his future in the hands of the people and call elections? The Honourable Minister of Innovation. Mr. Speaker, on this side of the House, I know that all of our colleagues want to work for Quebec and the entire country, Mr. Speaker. At a time like this, what Quebecers...
At a time like this, Mr. Speaker, at a time like this when everybody is jumping ship, Mr. Speaker, it is not time for us to play politics. Mr. Speaker, it is time for us to be all Canadians, all together, Mr. Speaker.
Hear fiery slogans, Mr. Speaker. They expect us to work together. This is a moment where we need to work together to prepare Quebec and Quebec's industry to face the American administration. We need to prepare Quebec and the rest of Canada to win in the 21st century economy, and I can tell all Quebecers that that's what we're doing on this side of the House. That's what we wake up and do every day, Mr. Speaker. We get up to serve Canadians. We want to be there for Quebecers and the whole country. We'll continue to do so. The Honourable Member for La Prairie. In 2020, the Prime Minister made Bill Morneau step down because he wasn't spending enough, and he put the current Deputy Prime Minister in his place.
Yeah, that's true. Bill Morneau was not spending enough money for Justin Trudeau. So he put Chrystia Freeland in the cabinet place.
She has now quit because she wasn't spending enough. Imagine how much the third finance minister is going to have to spend to keep their job. They're going to have to go over to the NDP to find somebody who's ready to spend that much. Seriously, this is a disastrous economic statement. Will the Prime Minister resign? The Honourable Minister of Innovation. Mr. Speaker, Quebecers know that the Bloc likes to pick a fight, Mr. Speaker. But today, Mr. Speaker, the government is going to present a fall economic statement, Mr. Speaker, in which will show that we're there for Canada's industry and for workers across the country. At a time like now, Mr. Speaker, what Quebecers and Canadians expect from everyone, and especially from the Bloc Québécois, is that we be there to defend their interests, that we be there for families, for seniors. That's exactly what we're doing on this side of the House.
No,
and
it's
I hope
not.
The Bloc will stand up and support the government, Mr. Speaker.
What the fuck are you talking about?
The government is getting ready to table an economic update without a finance minister. Nobody, not even the Liberals, wants to wear this economic statement. It's the ultimate proof that we can't go forward with a $60 billion deficit just to offer political gimmicks. A deficit for measures that neither Quebecers nor businesses have asked for. Measures in this have been denounced by economists, including in the finance department. It's not surprising that nobody in the Liberal Party wants to be responsible for it. Will the Prime Minister do the right thing and stop with these measures? The Honourable Minister of Innovation. Mr. Speaker.
Oh, him again. He is just so fucking annoying.
If the Bloc wants to go backwards, that's up to them. But on this side, we're going to go forward, Mr. Speaker. Why? Because families in Quebec, Mr. Speaker, who are watching us, need a government that's there for them, that's there for dental care, for kids, for seniors, for industry, for Quebec, for Canada. Mr. Speaker, on this side of the House, we'll continue to fight. We will continue to fight every day for all Canadians because the country deserves that we be there to stand up for it, Mr. Speaker.
That was literally a nothing answer. There was no answer in that answer. You have sat too long here for any good you have been doing. Depart, I say, and let us have done with you. It have been invoked in 3 different dramatic occasions in British House of Commons. Huh.
I would invite members to please not take the floor when other members have been recognized by the Speaker. The Honourable Member for Charlebourg-Saint-Charles. Mr. Speaker, everyone knows it. The Prime Minister has lost control. He's lost control of immigration. He's lost control of the cost of housing. He's lost control of his caucus. And finally, he's lost control of public spending. And he's lost the confidence of his Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance. The Prime Minister has caused a huge amount of damage for Canada. We know it. Most Canadians know it.
Most? I would say all. I would say the vast majority.
You know, now it's time to say enough. Can the Prime Minister please take his responsibility and call an election today? The Honourable Minister of Labour and Seniors. Mr. Speaker, the government later today will be presenting its economic plan. It's a solid plan for Canadians.
I think the economic statement is going to be announced at 4 p.m., which I will be covering as well. So,
which will ensure fairness, it will ensure good jobs, and it will continue to make sure that Canadians' economic interests are respected. The Honourable Member for Charlebourg-Saint-Charles. Mr. Speaker, I can't believe that the Minister believes the words he's saying. We know that
neither
this
can
doesn't
I.
make any sense. The Finance Minister quit this morning because of this. She knows that none of this makes any sense. And the Finance Minister said that given the threat that we're facing, the way that we do it, that we deal with that will define us for a generation. We know that Canadians are smart.
It will define us for a generation. This is dangerously, like, the amount of money that we're spending is going to
Will the Prime Minister call an election today?
just absolutely drive us to the poorhouse.
The Honourable Minister of Labour and Seniors. It's time, Mr. Speaker, to put that partisanship aside.
Oh, stop.
And to rally as Canadians together, because Canada will have to face a protectionist threat from the other side of the border. And we are preparing for that, Mr. Speaker. We will have a solid plan.
How are you preparing for
and I hope
that?
that we will be able to count on that member and his party when Canada will face that threat. The Honourable Member for Louis Saint Laurent. Mr. Speaker, what's happening is serious and it's unprecedented. The Deputy Prime Minister, the Minister of Finance, quit just a few hours before the fall economic statement. It's just a bomb that's gone off, because even in the United States and around the world, people are talking about this, and in a bad way for Canada. That's the reality that we're looking at today, Mr. Speaker.
It's true. It's literally a huge cog thrown in the machine of Parliament to have her quit like this. These are all talking points made by the WEF and needs to be seen as bad because WEF.
The former finance minister said no more than $40 billion of deficit. The Prime Minister pushed her aside to listen to Mark Carney. Will the Minister of Industry please tell us what Mark Carney's deficit will be when it's presented in 2 hours? The Honourable Minister of Innovation. Mr. Speaker, I have a huge amount of respect for the member for Louis Saint Laurent. And as my colleague has already said, we will be presenting the fall economic statement later today, Mr. Speaker. A fall economic statement that'll be there for families.
Oh, of course. Of course it will. And let me guess, the disability benefit is going to be there, and the child tax benefit's going to be increased.
That'll be there for industry, but also, Mr. Speaker, an economic statement that'll be important. And we're expecting that the Conservatives will...
Pepsi just said no to the 2-month tax reduction, saying that it would cost too much for the 2-month change. Yeah. There's a bunch of businesses that aren't doing
be
it.
ready to support it so that we can face the threat from the United States, Mr. Speaker. Canadians expect better than slogans, Mr. Speaker. Canadians expect actions. Will the Conservatives have the courage to defend Canada and to vote with the government to prepare Canada for the future, Mr. Speaker?
Nope.
The honourable member for London Fanshawe.
Mr. Speaker, I've heard that Liberals are a shiver looking for a spine to crawl up, and we're seeing this play out in real time as they've let postal workers and, in fact, all workers down. At this time, when Canada Post CEOs got bonus after bonus while denying fair wages to its workers.
Oh, stop. Just stop with the whole fair worker or fair wages thing. You guys, the Canada Post gets plenty of stuff.
As a former deputy prime minister said, Canadians know when their government is not working for them, but working for themselves. New Democrats know where we stand. We stand up for workers every single day.
No, you don't.
Government do the same.
The Honourable Minister of Labour and for Seniors.
Mr. Speaker, Canada went through a 4-week postal strike where letter carriers, who we do thank for their service to Canadians and who I know we all have deep affinity for.
Oh yes, we all have deep affinity for our postal workers. Yes, we all care deeply for them. Their plights are just so hard.
Not only the government, but the Canada Industrial Relations Board has judged there to be a fundamental impasse in the negotiations. We have found an imaginative way forward, a way to get a collective agreement for Canada Post and its hardworking letter carriers.
An imaginative way forward? You mean a back to work order?
The honourable member for Nanaimo Ladysmith.
Mr. Speaker, they are not listening. The former Deputy Prime Minister said it best today. Canadians know when the government is working for them or for themselves. Well, the Liberals have made it clear where their focus lies. The Minister of Labour's out-of-touch response last week to postal workers is a slap in the face. They deserve safety at work and livable wages.
How are they not safe at work? Are there dogs chasing all the postal carriers down the street while they try to deliver mail?
People are tired of the Liberals and Conservatives siding with rich CEOs at their expense. Now Canadians want to know, will the Minister of Labour be the next to resign?
Hear, hear. The honourable minister.
They make how much?
They make roughly, to start, $26.97 an hour.
27.
Wage is about $29 an hour.
Fuck off. That's
what they're doing is bullshit, because if you go over the 2 Reddit threads I told you about, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's hilarious.
Minister of Labour and for Seniors.
Mr. Speaker, as that member well knows, postal workers and Canada Post were struggling.
Pardon? Oh, you...
To find a path forward at the negotiating table. It had gone on for 4 weeks. Canadians were quite rightly, whether they were in Indigenous or remote communities, whether they were small business persons, whether they were people expecting medicines, Mr. Speaker, we were being pressed to act. We found an imaginative way forward with an industrial inquiry commission.
Yep.
We will ensure that Canada Post operates for the holidays, Mr. Speaker, and we're glad that we did.
Good.
Good job, Senior Minister for Labour and Seniors. Good job.
The honourable member for Winnipeg South Centre.
Mr. Speaker, I rise today to talk about something that's on everybody's mind. And that is the Canadian Dental Care Plan.
That's on everybody's mind? The Canadian Dental Plan is on everybody's mind, really? I didn't know that.
But thanks to the Canadian Dental Care Plan, more than 1 million Canadians now receive that care, and every day that number continues to grow. Mr. Speaker, applications for the Canadian Dental Care Plan opened for adults with a valid disability tax credit earlier this year. Can the Minister of Diversity and Inclusion...
Oh, the Minister of Diversity and Inclusion. I hope that portfolio goes away.
by this important plan. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable Minister for Diversity and Inclusion.
Mr. Speaker, the Canadian Dental Care Plan is already saving Canadians an average more than
What? It has.
$130 per year. This will help almost 200,000 persons living with disabilities access dental care. This will help almost 200,000 persons living with disabilities access
People
dental
on
care.
disability
Mr.
already
Speaker,
have
we know
dental
this is making
plans.
a huge difference in the lives of people on the ground. We also know, Mr. Speaker, dental care is health care.
How is that happening if only 1 million Canadians have signed up for it? They just contradicted each other.
Yeah, they did. Not mine, I have no teeth. There you go, Michael. That'll do it.
And we will continue to make sure Canadians are getting the support that they need. Thank you.
The Honourable Member for Calgary Forest Lawn.
This week, Prime Minister has lost control. Carbon tax Carney wrote the fiscal update, filled it with poison pills, so he could blame the finance minister while pushing her off the fiscal cliff so he can take her job and eventually the Prime Minister's job. The finance minister figured out the plan, so she resigned in protest. She said she no longer has confidence in this weak Prime Minister and carbon tax Carney's plan. If the Prime Minister's own caucus and cabinet don't have confidence in him, even though the leader of the NDP does, why should Canadians?
There you go. That's a valid question. Why should Canadians trust the Prime Minister if only Jagmeet Singh does?
The Honourable Minister for Housing, Infrastructure and Communities.
Mr. Speaker, in a moment where Canadians are looking for leadership, the Conservative asking the question can only come up with names to lobby towards his political opponents.
What are you talking about? What is he talking about? He didn't have any names.
Colleagues, it is very important for us to just hear the question and hear the answer. The Honourable Minister, from the start.
From the top.
Mr. Speaker, the very best that the Conservatives can offer to this conversation is name-calling, mudslinging, not solutions to the problems that Canadians are facing.
Yes, the Conservatives are the ones mudslinging. It's not you guys. No.
Are advancing policies to invest in healthcare and housing. They want to make sure we're doing more to protect the environment. Every time we put policies on the table to accomplish these ends, the Conservatives throw their hands up in the air, vote against, and just sling mud towards their opponents. That is not what people in my community want. It is not what Canadians deserve. We're going to advance solutions that introduce real and meaningful changes that will benefit people who live in this country.
Going to ask the Honourable Member.
Our disability plans don't have dental in the U.S. But there are some sliding scale options, but I'm not going anyways. That's fair.
Calvin, please to hold off on making comments while the other people have the floor. The Honourable Member from Calgary Forest Lawn.
He's right. After 9 years of that incompetent minister and the Prime Minister, Canadians are looking for leadership.
Yep.
Carbon tax Carney's Canadian comeback fueled a fiscal feud for the former finance minister. Carney
Holy alliteration there, dude.
Pushed insane inflationary spending and brought in the 2-month tax trick while trying to blame the finance minister for taking Canada's finances off a cliff. Will he stop passing the blame on to women in his caucus and call a carbon tax election now so common sense Conservatives can give the power back to Canadians?
Environment again.
For Housing, Infrastructure and Communities.
Mr. Speaker, I was wrong before when I said all they had was name-calling. Apparently they have alliteration as well. But Mr. Speaker, that is not going to put food on the table for people who need it in my community or his.
Like you care about that. You don't. If you gave a shit, then you wouldn't allow the carbon tax to be as high as it is or exist.
People who are vulnerable in this country. Mr. Speaker, if he wants to make this argument about whether women will be supported, I wonder if he has ever approached the leader of the Conservative Party about using hashtags to specifically attract the attention of men who hate women.
Stop with the MGTOW shit. That hasn't been a thing for a year.
To support him online. I wonder if he's asked questions about why he's canceled the investigation as to who was behind it, or perhaps it's because he knows it was the Conservative leader himself.
The honourable member for Leeds, Grenville, Thousand Islands and Rideau Lakes.
After 9 years of this NDP Liberal government, everything is out of control. Home prices have doubled. Food bank use is seeing 2 million users in a single month. And the real fiscal advisor to this Prime Minister wrote the financial update for this afternoon. It included a temporary 2-month tax trick and is set to smash through the massive $40 billion deficit promise that was made by the finance minister. And when they tried to blame the economic vandalism on her, she quit, saying that she doesn't have confidence in this Prime Minister. Now, they can't tell us how much they've spent. They can't tell us who's in charge. How can anyone have confidence in this Prime Minister?
There you go. If nobody's gonna say who's in charge, and nobody's going to talk about who's going to do the false statement, how are we supposed to even what was I gonna, how are we even supposed to trust that?
Minister for Housing, Infrastructure and Communities.
Mr. Speaker, the Conservatives seem to know the cost of everything but the value of nothing. They do not see value in investing.
There's a law against being Tao in Canada.
In childcare, which has not only reduced costs for families, but led to the largest increase in women's participation in the labor force in the history of this country. They don't seem to believe there is value in investing in social housing, in public housing, in affordable housing, so everyone in this country can have a roof over their head. They don't believe in the value of the Canada Child Benefit, which is ensuring middle-class families in this country can put food on the table. So before he continues to sling mud and arrows on this side of the House, he perhaps should look inward and ask why he is not even allowed to advocate on behalf of his community.
There's no law against being MGTOW in Canada. But apparently, like, a year ago, Polyev was using MGTOW hashtags for, like, a couple of weeks and then stopped.
Because his leader has said that's just not in order.
The honourable member for Leeds, Grenville, Thousand Islands and Rideau Lakes.
Yeah, we talk about having confidence. This is coming from a minister who said just today that he's not going to continue to serve in the cabinet of that Prime Minister.
Yeah.
Just like the finance minister who said she doesn't have confidence, or the 7 other ministers over there, or the 1 in 5 Liberal
He's trying
MPs
to
who
stretch
said they
it
don't
to
have confidence in
discrimination.
this NDP Liberal Prime Minister who broke housing, who broke immigration, who broke our finances in this country. These Liberals talk about cost, but they have absolutely no idea how much they've spent. No government has ever spent so much to achieve as little as this government has. We know why the NDP leader has confidence in this Prime Minister. It's for his pension. But why should Canadians?
Exactly. Why should we have confidence in this Prime Minister? And why are we not allowed to vote accordingly? Why can we not have our election already?
The Honourable Minister for Housing, Infrastructure and Communities.
Mr. Speaker, my honourable colleague is right about one thing. I did announce this morning that I'm not going to be seeking re-election.
What?
He didn't use MGTOW hashtags. He used hashtags that idiot MGTOWs co-opted because there's only like 12 of them.
Right.
He thinks that's a matter of confidence. I can tell him it's that I have confidence. I am going to be the best father to my kids that I could possibly.
I'm grateful I can grow some of my own food. That is a blessing, Michael.
But Mr. Speaker, while I have the floor, I should say thank you for the opportunity to engage in the tete-a-tete over the years. This may be one of the last opportunities that I have, and I want to use it to make this point. Canadians want governments to invest to increase the quality of life that they get to enjoy. We seem not to be able to agree on that basic tenet. On this side of the House, we will put measures in place to support families, not advocate for cuts.
Oh, stop. This is bad. This is just a shit show.
The honourable member for Berthier, Masquinongé.
Oh, it's Pip.
I would like to quote the Deputy Prime Minister. Canadians know when we're working for them, and they know when we're focusing on ourselves. Mr. Speaker, she's right.
Yeah.
71% of Quebecers believe that the GST vacation and the Prime Minister's check are electioneering measures.
They are. They are electioneering measures. It's plain and simple. They're straight up vote buying measures.
Democracy loses out as a whole when so many Quebecers believe that a Prime Minister is trying to buy them off. Will the Prime Minister finally realise that there is a limit to putting Liberal priorities ahead of the common good?
No.
The Honourable Minister for Innovation. Mr. Speaker, we have no lessons to learn from the Bloc Québécois.
Oh my God. Again with the Speaking of not wanting slogans, here we are with the "we have no lessons to
We're
learn"
truly here
bullshit.
for Quebecers. They would vote for their best interests. For months, the Bloc is contributing
Ooh,
to the
you grow your own.
tactics of blocking
You grow
Parliament
your own flour.
to
That's
stop
nice.
bills that would make Quebec a better place. Instead of trying to squabble, can the Bloc finally go beyond squabbles and actually work for Quebecers to allow this Parliament to function? Quebecers expect better from the Bloc, and we'll always be here on this side of the House to defend Quebecers. The Honourable Member for Berthier-Masquinongé. The Deputy Prime Minister's resignation confirms that the Prime Minister has gone too far in pushing for Liberal measures at all costs.
Yep.
She has confirmed that the Prime Minister is no longer legitimate. He cannot move forward with a full economic update without a finance minister. She confirms that the Prime Minister cannot continue to govern without a new plebiscite from the people. The Deputy Prime Minister has confirmed all of this.
Yeah. Basically everything that we've all known. Yeah.
Will the Prime Minister finally trigger an election?
The deer
The
eat the
Honourable
cannabis?
Minister
Oh, that's annoying.
For Labour. Mr. Speaker.
Fucking deer.
The Bloc Québécois simply rejects economic updates without having read it. That's why they voted against the Canada childcare benefit. That's why they voted.
No, I think they read it and found some things that didn't belong in there, and that's why they voted against it.
A dental plan for Canadians. And many Quebecers are benefiting from these programs. They voted against the Guaranteed Income Supplement. They systematically vote against all assistance for Quebecers. So we shouldn't be surprised that the Bloc, once again, is rejecting our measures that will help Canadians.
The Honourable Member for Regina-Capel.
Carbon tax Carney is the Prime Minister's official economic advisor, and his plan was always to push out the Finance Minister and take her place. Let's look at his advice so
My
far.
chickens
He
will eat a
forced
bit
her
from the
to
bottom.
bring
It's
in the
good for them in
GST
small
tax trick.
quantities.
Carney also
Interesting.
forced through insane inflationary spending, smashing through that $40 billion guardrail. Carney's economic plan is so bad, the Finance Minister resigned in protest rather than humiliate herself into reading his homework.
That's true. She probably was like, I don't want to read this bullshit. I'm done. I'm moving on. Goodbye.
Nobody knows who the Finance Minister is. Mr. Speaker, enough is enough. Why won't the Prime Minister do the only honourable thing left and let Canadians decide for themselves in a carbon tax election?
Red-eyed deer. Yep.
The Honourable Leader of the Government in the House of Commons.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Another day, another attack against Canadians from the Conservative.
How is that an attack against Canadians? Explain that to me, Karina.
Anytime someone steps up who disagrees with their vision for Canada, what do? Personal attacks, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Canadians deserve better than the slogans and personal attacks that we get from Conservative members of Parliament. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable Member for Regina-Capel.
The attacks on this government's economic record are coming from inside the Liberals' own cabinet.
Yeah, he's just pointing out the Liberals' own problems with the economic statement. He's not attacking
And
anybody.
it looks more and more like Carbon Tax Carney's plan to push out the Prime Minister is working as well, too. For Carbon Tax, Carney has always been profits over people. Look at his record. Since he became the top economic advisor to the PM, he's moved his own company's headquarters to New York City. He got caught unethically lobbying the UK government, and his firm Brookfield is now looking for $10 billion in taxpayers'
God
money for an
damn.
investment fund, which would be managed by Brookfield, his own company. Mr. Speaker, Canadians deserve better than this government in shambles. Why not call a carbon tax election and let Canadians decide for themselves?
Because that would make sense.
The honourable leader of the government in the House of Commons.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this is the people's house, and in it you should be debating things that are pertinent to the administration of government. But what we hear from the House leader from the Conservative Party of Canada is attacks on Canadians, Mr. Speaker. The person he is talking about is not a sitting member of Parliament, is not a cabinet minister. It is someone that they are attacking simply because they do not share their vision of Canada. Mr. Speaker, every single Canadian deserves better than what we hear from the opposition today. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
You are, Karina, you are just absolutely pathetic. And everybody needs to understand how pathetic Karina Gould
Member for
is.
Stormont, Dundas, South Glengarry.
The Prime Minister's lost control. Hours before delivering a fiscal update, the Finance Minister resigned, joining 1/5 of the Liberal caucus and saying she doesn't have confidence in the Prime Minister either. And there's only one person left keeping this Prime Minister in power, and that's the leader of the NDP. The fall budget is scheduled to be tabled in 54 minutes, and we don't even know who the Finance Minister
So it's at 5 o'clock that it's supposed to be happening.
on succession. States if it's not her, it's the Industry Minister, but he says he doesn't want to. So that means it's supposed to go to the disgraced member from Edmonton Centre. The question is, will the other Randy be Canada's next Finance Minister? And how
Carnegie family has lots of money everywhere, or is it something else I'm
much is he
thinking of?
investing in fraud?
No, I think you're thinking of the right one.
Again, I've asked members. Leader, order. The honourable leader of the government in the House of Commons.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Again, all we see from Conservative members of Parliament is personal attacks and mudslinging.
What personal attacks and mudslinging? They're just pointing out stuff that you guys have... They're pointing out stuff that the Liberal Party, that ministers of the Liberal Party have said. What is wrong with... How is that a personal attack?
Doing right now is standing united for our country, making sure that we are protecting the Canadian economy, Canadian jobs, and making
Well, if
things
it's one thing I know is that all the Randys can be trusted.
We look forward to presenting the fall economic statement later this afternoon. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The honourable member for Halifax West.
Speaker, our government takes the safety of children seriously.
Oh, stop.
Experts want...
They said no to a mandatory. This
Éclairable.
government will continue to fight for victims, parents, and kids to keep them safe.
The honourable member for Mégantic-L'Érable. The Prime Minister has completely lost the plot. He's lost control of immigration, of our borders, of public finances. He's also lost the confidence of 20 or 40 members of his caucus. He's lost the confidence and trust of his right-hand woman, the former Minister of Finance. The Prime Minister has lost everything. Will he finally let go and trigger an election so that Canadians can take back control of their future?
No. Because he doesn't want that control to be taken away from him.
The Honourable Minister for Immigration.
Every time he says order, I'm taking
Mr.
a dab.
Speaker,
I don't
am
have
not a new
anything to
minister
take
of
dabs.
anything, not immigration
I'm
or
out.
anything else. We have no lessons to learn from the Conservatives. Today, what the government will table is an economic update that will be here to invest in Canadians, invest in industry. Invest
Somebody send
our
in some
workers. But,
money
Mr.
so I
Speaker,
can get some
what
more
we've seen
stuff.
today during question period is deplorable. Canadians who are watching us today expect better from the official opposition.
I actually just finished a cartridge called Strawberry Ripple. It was actually pretty good. it had a nice taste to it, and the high lasted a really long time. It was a really nice taste. The only problem was it was a 0.950 gram instead of a 1 gram.
Now is a time to work together to defend our country, to be ready for the next US administration. It's disappointing to see that the opposition is playing political games on a day like today. The honourable member from
yes, they're playing political games by pointing out the fact that the Deputy Prime Minister quit. Yes, that's very much a political game.
From the Minister for the, well, not the Minister for Finance, he said no, but the Minister for Innovation. The Minister is out of control. His former right-hand woman was very striking in her letter. We have to preserve.
Did Canada just buy back arms to send to foreign powers? I'm sure I saw something. Yes, they did.
Policy of aggressive economic
yes, they did.
We need to recognize the gravity of the moment. The situation.
You have a press to make your own rosin. Oh, nice.
Work. So what do we need? The Honourable Minister for Labour and Seniors. Mr. Speaker, it's not by shouting slogans that this member will claim to create unity in our country. Our government has a serious plan to move forward. We will...
Playing political games like pointing out your shit and that your party is falling apart? Yes, those political games, Fury Kitten, exactly.
Statement provide for prosperity for all Canadians, and we will be here to protect Canadians against any potential threat.
The honourable member for Peterborough Kawartha.
The Prime Minister is spiraling so bad, and his obsession for power is dangerous. It's actually dangerous, and it is killing people every day. In Peterborough, and the Peterborough and area families are suffering the greatest rates of food insecurity ever recorded. Do you know what food insecurity means, Mr. Speaker? Starvation, hunger, children. Enough. This is as serious as it gets. The finance minister quit hours before she was supposed to do this, and she doesn't have confidence in this prime minister. No one does. This man is a disgrace, and we need an election now.
Damn. I am a cheap bastard.
To be very judicious in referring to any member in this place.
Oh, please, no. He is a disgrace. He is a disgrace, and it needs to be pointed out. Absolutely.
Order. Order. The Honourable Minister for Families, Children and Social Development.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On this side
oh, look, she still sounds high.
To ensure
sounds
that
like she's taking her Xanax today.
Those in Peterborough Kawartha have the support that they need, whether that be through affordable childcare, whether that be through an HST holiday, Mr. Speaker. The people of Peterborough Kawartha can rely
She looked like a
on
chubby,
us
angry young Kirstie Alley.
that we on this side of the House will
That's
fight
funny.
for them when their member of Parliament will do everything they can to oppose these supports.
The Honourable Member for Vancouver Quadra.
Mr. Speaker.
What the hell was that laugh?
The Honourable Member for Vancouver Quadra.
That was creepy.
Mr. Speaker, children in Canada are just not safe online.
Oh, shut up. Children in Canada just aren't safe online. No child is safe online. Get children off the internet. Damn, someone's showing emotion. Yep. I don't get why both our countries are spending on anything but ourselves. I don't either.
Adopted online safety regulations. Yet the Conservatives are preventing our Online Harms Act from moving forward. In fact, shockingly, they're blocking our efforts to remove child sex abuse material from the internet. How disgusting. Can the Justice Minister please describe the importance of Bill C-63 to...
Fuck Bill C-63. Just make it so kids can't go online. Don't police what adults say. Keep kids offline.
Explain why Canadians so urgently need this law now.
We don't need this law now.
The Honourable Minister of Justice and Attorney General.
Mr. Speaker, the Online Harms Bill is the product of 4 years of consultation. It is comprehensive legislation that will remove child sex abuse material from the internet. By blocking that very act, the Conservatives have made a clear choice.
Yeah, because that act is not a Keep Children Safe Act. It is a Don't Criticize the Government Act.
It will not prioritize the safety of our kids. They don't stand with parents. Amanda Todd's mother, Carol, said she's been waiting 12 years for this type of change. We need to pass this legislation to do right by Carol and every other parent of every
Carol
other
should
child
have kept
who
her
suffered
kid
abuse
offline.
online.
I'm sorry.
For that party is, will they stand with us and keep kids safe?
Hate on me all you want, but Amanda Todd's mom should have kept her off the internet. Our UK government have just given $20 billion to the Ukraine. My child was homeschooled and has always had an alias online. That's the best way to do it.
The Honourable Member for North Island Powell River.
The Marriage After 60 pension clause is dated, sexist, and unfair. All parties agree it should be eliminated. But the Liberals have sat on their hands and let veterans and their spouses down. The Liberals' former deputy leader said it best. Canadians can tell when the government is focused on themselves and not on real people.
Yeah.
And failing to remove this clause proves it. When will the Liberals stop labeling women gold diggers and get rid of this archaic, sexist clause?
Hear, hear.
Never.
The Honourable Minister for Veterans Affairs.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to thank my colleague for her question and also to take a moment to thank the members of the Canadian
They are
Armed
adult
Forces
now,
for their
living on
service.
their own.
Mr. Speaker,
Or living in Japan at the moment. Cool.
in the military, we all recognize that their family serves with them.
Watch them
Our
over
government
their
is
shoulder
sensitive
or block stuff. There's already technology for person at home. Yep.
to the situation of widowed spouses who have married veterans after the age of 60. And our government is committed to improving and supporting members of their family as we move forward. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable Member for Saanich Gulf Islands.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And my last question in 2024. I think of the IPCC report. I'm sorry.
Yes, I mean, colleagues, really. I'd like to just hear the Honourable Member. She's at the far end of the room. It's difficult for me to hear, and I would like her to please start again. The Honourable Member.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In my last question in 2024, I think of the IPCC 6th assessment report that if we do not...
Yes, she did. Because they were clapping because she said that was her final question of 2024 and they were like, yay! And she got all offended.
Globally reduce emissions dramatically, peak before and see dramatic reductions. At the latest, this is a quote, at the latest before 2025, we will shoot way past the Paris Agreement targets, way past 2 degrees Celsius, and face climate disaster. I think of the words in that film, The Age of Stupid. What were we thinking?
The Age of Stupid? Did she really just quote The Age of Stupid? I've never even heard of that movie. What the fuck movie is she even talking about?
Can the Honourable Minister give us any excuse, but perhaps this question period answers its own question?
The Honourable Minister for the Environment and Climate Change.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I thank the honourable colleague for her question. I would like to remind her that everything we've done since we've been in power in 2015 has meant a 43% decline in emissions in Canada.
Oh, the age gate, like AOL had? Yeah, that would make sense.
Our plan is working. We're helping the economy. We're creating jobs, and we're fighting pollution.
Piglet.
Affaire courante ordinaire. Dépôt de documents.
Tabling of documents.
The Honorable Parliamentary Secretary.
Global News hasn't broken the story yet.
Okay, so thank you.
Global News hasn't broken the story.
She's talking about a complete other B movie. Okay.
Okay.
From 2009.
Okay.
That stars Pete Postlethwaite, Hangler Wadia, Alvin Durkhavani, and it's directed by Franny Armstrong and written by Franny Armstrong, and it's a documentary.
Okay.
Okay? No. That's what I mean. You want to talk about an obscure fucking reference.
That made no sense.
Like, Pete Postlethwaite, you know who he is?
No.
In Lost World, you know the hunter, the British hunter guy?
Mm-hmm.
That guy.
Okay.
So that's who it stars, is that guy.
Okay.
Alright? And it's, here's the, where's that storyline? This ambitious documentary / drama / animation hybrid stars an archivist in a devastated world of the future asking the question, why didn't we stop climate change when we still had the chance?
Oh.
So this is written about in 2009 about shit that was supposed to happen in 2015.
Okay.
And it led up to 2055. The events in 2015 didn't happen. So that makes the entire movie moot.
Yep.
So yeah, that's what she's going off. That's what she's quoting.
That's retarded. That is absolutely stupid.
Yeah, the movie takes place in 2055 and it's about events that never will happen.
Not enough carbon actually affects weather more. Yes! We need the carbon. We are, the carbon is what is something that we need for greenhouse gases to keep our planet warm. Do you have to go to TIFF for some of these films? I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder. Sometimes I wonder. Alright, I'm going to do a quick bathroom break. So we're going to be right back. I'm going to mute the microphone. Share the stream while I'm gone. And also consider hitting up that PayPal link in the description there. If each of you send in $10, we can get almost to the stream donation. Or the stream goal. So I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. So that was question period, and I've got a few. Does that make me the owl? So let's see here. Where are we here? Let's take a look here. I've got a couple of interesting videos that can take us to our question, or not our question period, our fall economic statement. So I figured we'll take a quick gander at those, because it's supposed to be at 5 o'clock. So let's see what we can watch until then. I've got a Radical the Unhallowed Night video, and we haven't watched Radical for quite a bit. And apparently these guys are they get kicked out of a Ren fair. So let's take a look at this and see what this is about.
I really don't like no, you don't really want to give it to me. Can I?
That's
can
fine.
I have your
You don't
card?
have to answer
You're
questions. We'll let
public
our lawyer
servant,
deal
sir.
with that.
Can I have your card?
I like them already, but not for the reasons they think.
What? Yeah. The fall economic statement's gonna be at 5.
Officer, I don't understand what the problem is. Sir, can you take my keys? I'm gonna drop them because.
What?
The post-question period interviews are interesting, like Jagmeet calling for the resignation.
Okay, let's check that out. Let me see what CPAC has. Let's see what CPAC's got right now. Let's see. Oh. Bank of Canada Governor, Justice Greater Vancouver Board, no. There's the French version of question period. What? PM Trudeau reacts to Trump's tariff threat. Oh, that's old. Let's see.
Of course, he won't upload the whole interview onto his channel. No.
Well,
put up the clips that make him look good.
Why would he? Jagmeet Singh calling all Prime Minister to rejoin. CP24.
Wait, we'll take it.
I found CP24 has.
That's what you want. That'll work.
Okay, here we go. CP24. There we go. Let's see.
We'll take you to Ottawa now, where leader of the NDP, Jagmeet Singh, is taking questions. Let's listen in live.
Each vote, and right now, literally everything's on the table.
Saying, Mr. Singh, that all options are on the table. So why are you holding out the option to still support this government? I understand.
That's a very good question. Why are you holding out the option to still support the government if you're at the same time calling for the Prime Minister to resign, Mr. Singh?
Trigger a confidence vote, but why are you still holding out the option? What is the glimmer of hope that you're seeing to possibly support the Feds or possibly support this government in some other way?
Depends on the votes, and so I want to make it very clear. Justin Trudeau has to go. He has to resign.
And who's gonna stick up and who's gonna take his place? Who do you think is gonna take his place and is actually going to win an election against Pierre Poilievre? You?
And because of that, all options are on the table. And we'll look at each vote and we'll make a decision. But now all options are on the table. Paul Wells.
What? Yeah.
Paul. Go ahead, Paul.
Sir, that
Go ahead,
room
Paul.
behind you is a parliament. The government continues to govern as long as MPs continue to have
Jack meat. Yeah. It's not wrong. He does think he's latent.
government. You have no say over who the leader of the Liberal Party is. Will you support the government, or are you withdrawing your support from the government?
That's a very specific question. That's a very, 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 very specific question that needs to be answered.
With respect to that, I've said that all options are on the table. That means everything is possible. But what is clear, given what we have seen, Justin Trudeau and a Liberal government that are focused on themselves, they are infighting at a time when people cannot even do their...
Singh is a socialist. Singh is what is called New Democrat. He is basically... He's the Canadian as left as like Bernie Sanders. Like he's that level of Democrat is the best way to describe him. He's a social democrat.
Groceries. They can't even find homes that are affordable. And we've got the threat of Donald Trump and 25% tariffs that mean hundreds.
Yeah.
Hundreds of thousands of jobs are at risk. Because of that, I'm saying very clearly that Justin Trudeau has to resign. All options on the table.
No, she's still the leader. May's still the leader.
Thank you very much. Merci. Thank you.
Holy shit, the reporters are screaming at him.
All right, we are following breaking news here on CP24. The Prime Minister has lost his Deputy PM, his Finance Minister, Chrystia Freeland, of course, announcing that she is resigning. This comes as the federal government is set to table its fall economic statement. And we just heard from Jagmeet Singh, leader of the NDP. He's a key player in all of this. And he says there are options.
They are? That's crazy.
On the table. He says, in fact, all options are on the table. He says Justin Trudeau has to resign.
YouTube didn't say I was live. Oh, well, that sucks.
Not say whether or not he will vote against the Liberals.
That's okay.
And that, of course, could trigger an election.
What? Yes, she did. That's what they all call him. That's what?
That's something the Conservatives are calling for.
So that was what's going on right now with the CPAC, or with Jagmeet Singh. Pierre Poilievre spoke to reporters just before question period. And I'm going to play that for us now. That I have that pulled up right here.
For being here today. What we are seeing is the government of Canada itself is spiraling.
If they get through to Christmas, Jagmeet gets his pension.
Right
Yep.
before our eyes, and at the very worst time. Today, mere hours before Trudeau's finance minister was to deliver a fall economic update that was expected to smash through her already massive deficit targets, she announced she no longer has confidence in the Prime Minister. Canadians were already anxious about the reckless $40 billion deficit the government had announced last spring, but today, in mere hours, they were expected to learn that it was much higher than that, threatening our social programs and our fiscal stability right in the middle of a potential trade war. The Prime Minister with the help and instigation of carbon tax Carney, pushed Ms. Freeland.
YouTube just said I posted a vid that I posted several days ago. How lovely. Thank you, YouTube.
To bring on massive, unsustainable, irresponsible spending increases that blew through her self-imposed guardrail. He thought that he would simply push her through that guardrail and off the cliff so that she, and not he and Mr. Carney, would take the blame for the crisis that he and they caused.
Such a lovely feminist, eh? Throwing his female finance minister under the bus because of his wish to spend all this extra money. What a lovely feminist man.
To continue the chaos, think of this. The moment the finance minister resigned, the government's published order of precedent meant that Francois-Philippe Champagne instantaneously became the finance minister. But now, he tells us he doesn't have the job and doesn't want the job.
Yeah.
So it goes to the next minister who's on the published order of precedent, and that is Randy Boissonnault, more commonly known as the Two Randys.
The gentleman who lied about being Indigenous to get money for his company.
The gentleman who had to resign because he falsely claimed he was Indigenous, falsely claimed that there were more than one Randy when it was all him and all in his head. And he is now technically our finance minister as we speak.
Yes. Right now, technically, Randy Boissonnault is the finance minister.
We don't know for sure, though, if he'll still be finance minister in 3.5 hours when the scheduled fall economic update is expected to land. That update, by the way, is currently covered by a black blanket underneath a table. No one is allowed to look at it, even though journalists and parliamentarians showed up to read it in briefing rooms to this day.
That's crazy. It's literally shielded under a table with a cloth over it? What the fuck?
Today. So here we are. Everything
Nobody
is
knows
spiraling
what's in
out
the
of
budget.
control. Out of control spending and bureaucracy has doubled housing costs, with 1,400 homeless encampments taking over Ontario alone. Out of control immigration has led to refugee camps opening in suburban Canada. And then we have 500,000 people in the country illegally, according to government estimates. Out of control.
The stress is putting gray in her
Crime
hair.
overtakes our once tranquil streets, with gun crime
Wow, what a
having
great
doubled.
guy. Yeah,
Out
right?
of control drugs and disorder add to the chaos, with
Is he related to Elizabeth Warren?
40,000 of our people dead of overdoses since Trudeau legalized
That's
drug
great.
laws, stopped enforcing them, and allowed limitless sums of fentanyl ingredients into our country. Out of control inflation has followed out of control money printing, which has sent out of control demand to our food banks, which are running out of food altogether. Out of control spending has doubled our national debt, boosted interest rates, and threatened our social programs. And it's not just Freeland who thinks this Prime Minister is out of control. Now Housing Minister Sean Fraser has resigned in the middle of a housing crisis.
Yeah.
The Minister is resigning, the Finance Minister is resigning in the middle of an economic crisis, and a fifth of his Liberal caucus has lost confidence in him. Justin Trudeau has lost control, and yet he clings to power. We cannot accept this kind of chaos, division, weakness, while we're staring down the barrel of a 25% tariff from our biggest trading partner and closest ally, which, by the way, is headed by a newly elected president with a strong and fresh mandate, a man who can spot weakness from a mile away. Ms. Freeland has been Mr. Trudeau's most trusted minister now for a...
And his biggest defender. That's the other thing. She has been his biggest defender for such a long time, and now for her to be like, no, I'm done. I don't trust, I don't have confidence. You don't have confidence in me. I don't have confidence in you. That's huge.
Than anyone, and she knows that he's out of control. She said this: our country faces a grave challenge. The incoming administration in the United States is pursuing a policy of aggressive economic nationalism, including the threat of a 25% tariff. We need to take that threat extremely seriously. That means we have to keep our fiscal firepower dry today, so we have the reserves we may need for a coming tariff war.
So he's reading from the letter that Pincalo read out loud to you guys earlier.
That means eschewing costly political gimmicks, which we can ill afford,
So
and
rats
which
are
makes
leaving the
Canada's
sinking ship.
Canadians
Yes.
doubt that we recognize the gravity of the moment. I know Canadians would recognize and respect such an approach. They know we are working for them. They know when we are working for them, and they know when we are working for ourselves.
Yes, and the fact that she even said that just shows how out of touch Trudeau actually is.
Inevitably, our time in government will come to an end. Will come to an end, she said.
She knows. She knows that it's time for the government to be done. She knows that the Trudeau government is over.
And I quote, and it is coming to an end. Because we simply cannot go on like this.
No, we can't.
And it is up to Jagmeet Singh now to make that realization. Mr. Trudeau is being held in office by one man.
Yeah. That's the crazy part. He's being held in office by one man who is forcing his party to vote confidence in somebody that clearly there's no way you can have confidence in.
Jagmeet Singh. A fifth of Liberal MPs have written a letter for him to resign. His deputy prime minister has walked out on him. His housing minister has quit. That on top of numerous other female ministers who stormed out after his appalling mistreatment and abuse and dishonesty to work.
Yeah. Jody Wilson-Raybould, Jane Philpott, the Inuit NP who was before the current one.
Towards them.
Can't remember her name.
80% of Canadians have lost confidence in this Prime Minister. So why is Jagmeet Singh making the entire country wait for him to get his pension?
Because he's selfish and all he cares about is that money. Because he's worth like something like a couple of $1 million.
That is the question today. To patriotic Liberals across the country, my message is this. You supported this government in good faith because you thought it was the right thing for the country. And you are good and decent patriotic people who've been let down by a Prime Minister and his top advisor, Mr. Carney, who have betrayed Ms. Freeland and you.
Yep.
Carney and Trudeau, the backroom boys, have taken the Liberal Party away from anything it used to stand for.
Because it used to actually stand for like a centrist type of politics. It was not the crazy left-wing organization that it is now.
What I'm calling for is let's bring home the common sense consensus of Liberals who believed in liberty, Conservatives who believed in conserving it, fiscal responsibility, compassion for our neighbours. These are the shared common values that will bind up our nation's wounds and bring us back together. Now is the time for a carbon tax election.
And listen to how calm he sounds. This is why I like Poilievre. Because he doesn't come out and he's not blustery like Trump is. That's why when people compare Poilievre to Trump, I get really confused. Because Poilievre is nothing like Trump. Trump is boisterous and blustery and full of air and talk and like he's loud. And he attacks people personally on a personal level. Poilievre doesn't do that. He attacks policy. He doesn't attack personality. And that's what I like.
Away from me or Mr. Trudeau or Mr. Singh or Mr. Carney and put it in the hands of the people. I know that they will make the right decision. Let's bring it home.
Mr. Poilievre, can you clarify, you do not accept the possibility that Mr. Trudeau could resign and there could be a leadership? You think there needs to be an election right now?
Yes.
Yes.
Why is that?
Because there's nobody that can lead right now that can fix the Liberal Party. The Liberal Party is broken right now.
It is not backroom Liberal insiders who get to choose the
He's
Canadian
acting
Prime
like a
Minister.
leader.
It is
Yes,
the Canadian
Michael,
people.
exactly.
And for Mark Carney to write a fall economic update full of poison pills and then put it on his rival Chrystia Freeland's desk to knock her and Mr. Trudeau out of the game and allow him and appoint himself Prime Minister is about the most undemocratic political maneuver we've ever witnessed in this country's history.
Yeah, for sure. It's a hugely undemocratic way to do things. It's Mark Carney is a slime ball for this.
The Canadian people deserve to choose who should be their next Prime Minister. Let's put our faith in them. That's up to Mr. Singh.
Will the election itself need to take place before January the 20th, when the catastrophic 25% tariff is slated to come into effect?
It would be ideal to have the election done before the president takes office or within the first week or two of his mandate, so that Canadians would have a strong Prime Minister with the brains and backbone, the strength and smarts to stand up for Canada, facing down President Trump and our American competitors.
Yes. We need to have like the fastest snap election that has ever snapped is what we need to do right now.
Is there a process in the House of Commons? We're in a minority government. Do you see a process in which the House could vote no confidence before it rises tomorrow? Is there such a maneuver that you can do?
Yes.
It's really up to Jagmeet Singh.
It is. It is up to Jagmeet Singh, unfortunately, at this point, because Poilievre doesn't have any more opposition days, and he can't put any more motions forward.
Freeland resigned hours before tabling the fall economic statement. How should the government now proceed with the Fez? Should it be tabled?
Yes.
Last question.
And maybe the answer is just for them to table the Fez and let's vote up or down on the Fez. It would be a confidence motion. I think the answer is to table the Fez, the fall economic update, and let the House of Commons vote up or down. And if the fall economic update is defeated, then it would be a non-confidence vote, and we would proceed to a carbon tax election.
That's how it should go. That is how it should be proceeded and taken care of.
Je pense que M. Trudeau devrait déposer la mise à jour économique cet après-midi et permettre un vote ce soir pour permettre la Chambre des communes de montrer si oui ou non on a la confiance ou bien si on va aller en élection pour reprendre le contrôle de notre pays.
Last question.
Do you think Canadians want their Christmas holiday to be interrupted by a federal election campaign?
Yes. I honestly, this is something I would rather have a Christmas election.
I think right now Canadians' Christmas holidays are being interrupted by the NDP Liberal hell they're living under.
Yep.
Lining up 2 million people at food banks, 1,400 homeless encampments, a doubling of gun crime, the worst inflation in 40 years, our 6 consecutive quarters of shrinking per capita GDP, $500 billion of investment leaving.
Yeah, nobody is going to have a very Merry Christmas this year. Nobody. Like, it's really bad, and it's his fault. And we need to get rid of him.
For the United States, parents are tossing and turning at night because we have the most indebted households by far in the G7.
Yep.
That's the real hell that is interrupting people's Christmas spirit right now. And I think the best Christmas present we could give Canadians is to let them choose a new, common sense, conservative government that will bring home Canada's promise, so that anyone from anywhere can do anything. Hard work gets them a powerful paycheck and pension that buys affordable food, home.
And that's what he had to say on this just before the question period today. I think that like this is just getting insane. Just this whole thing. All of this bullshit is just I'm losing my ability to find words to talk about what this is. Now let's see. I've got a couple of videos we can watch before the fall economic statement. I've got a couple of things pulled up. So let's see what we can see here. Because we've got an hour, just under an hour to kill before the fall economic statement. And I'm really wondering if they will make it a confidence vote because of what's going on right now. That would be something that that is something that should be happening. Unprecedented? Yes. Yes. Unprecedented. That's a good word, Michael. That's a very good word. So here's a video called Men Aren't Men Anymore. They Wouldn't Die for Us. Oh, God. This sounds like some entitled bullshit.
My complaint of the day. Yeah. My complaint of the day.
Yeah.
And what's your complaint of the day?
Do you know what mine is? It's trains and people and men. I think, yeah, like...
Trains, people, and men. Well, that makes a whole lot of sense. My complaint is trains, people, and men.
Men not wanting... It's like the battle of the sexes when it comes to seats on trains.
Yeah.
I've noticed that men don't really want to be getting up for us anymore.
They don't.
Or they pretend you don't exist.
No.
It's a natural shits over your country. Yep.
No. They don't pretend that you don't exist. They don't pretend that you're... We saw you.
Yeah. We saw you. They just because you're a woman doesn't mean you deserve the seat that's already occupied.
But why would I get up? As a feminist. I'm just kidding. What is your reason that's not going to stream from patriarchy? I thought we were done with that.
Because you're a gentleman.
Patriarchy. So why would I get up? What's the valid reason why I get up? As a matter of fact, I work longer hours. You get up for me.
Yeah, like why does it mean that you're like just because you're a woman doesn't mean like just because you're a woman doesn't mean you deserve that seat? That's stupid. I'm going to pop off to make supper and come back. Sounds good, Michael.
Full turn.
Yeah, men tend to do more manual labor anyways.
You get up.
I don't see you getting up for construction workers.
You see a construction worker in the bus?
Yeah.
He's been on a roof. Have you done a roof? I've done one roof in my life. One time. Fuck that shit.
Yeah, I don't know. Roofing? Like, you don't know what that man did on the bus for his job. Why do you expect him to get up for you?
In the summer? Under a roof? Next time you see a construction worker in the... You get up.
I'm different from Breach. I didn't see you on the metro. Because that's what y'all asked for. Y'all don't want to be ogled. Y'all don't want to be stared at. Don't worry. I don't even... Yo,
yeah,
the more...
there you go. Now you don't want to be ogled or objectified? Fine, we'll just ignore you. There you go.
The woman is, the less I look.
Yes.
That's really how I be. I don't care.
Yes.
I'm not looking. I'm trying to put balance in the force, right?
Yes.
You got these dudes ogling you like crazy. I'll be the opposite end. You might as well be Casper the Friendly Ghost.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not interacting. Not.
You could have the
No
nicest pair of
interaction,
titties.
no nothing.
Thou shalt see no evil, see no titties, see no nipples. That's how I be.
Yep.
The valley of the shadow of your bosom. No.
I mean, I gotta admit, I be manipulating some.
If you are older than me, preggers or have kids or have difficulty standing, you can You get my seat.
Tom?
Yeah.
Manipulation.
What, you be looking in the fucking window to catch a reflection?
That makes sense. But other than that, no. You can just deal with it and stand.
Directly?
No, never. Yeah. So it's funny to me because we get to a point where we're treating women very equally, and then they're like, "Well, that's a bit too equal."
Yeah.
And I'm like, no.
I get
It's
up
too
out of my
equal.
seat.
I want you to get up for me because I have a vagina.
I see an old person. Yeah. Or if I see a woman with her child or a man with a child. Yeah. I get up out of my seat. Why? Not because of it's because they're older or they're with somebody, who needs it. Somebody's disabled. Okay.
But if you're able,
stand your ass up.
They don't even get that for pregnant women.
Yeah, it's really bad.
It's really bad. Like, bring the real men back.
Exactly.
How can you
Gustav.
see me standing and you're sitting?
It's so bad.
It's just oh my god. How can you see me standing and you're sitting? Very easily. Are you disabled? Are you pregnant? Are you no, you're just a woman.
What a man.
And you're a woman and we're equal, see?
Yeah. So what does it matter?
Busta Rhymes. Everybody rhymes.
Yo, Bill Burr said it best. Some of these ladies treat feminism like a buffet.
Yes.
Yeah, they do. Bill Burr's right. The feminism buffet is real.
A little bit of that. Oh, sitting on the seats? No, we don't want that. Equal pay? Absolutely. Could we have women are now outperforming men in academia? Yes. Like, chill out.
You're actually
a man. You know, if this was the Titanic,
it
would
fuck
be
off.
women and children. And it should be the same with the trains. Women.
But we've evolved from that. And I need my life saved too.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. If I'm on Titanic, I don't give a fuck. Fuck you. If you're not my wife or my child, I'm not giving up my life. So
no,
why?
Fuck that.
I'm kicking babies in the throat.
Yeah.
I'm kicking babies in the throat.
I don't think I'd go that far, but if you're not my family or whatever, then why should I
Titanic is romantic because it's not real. You think you think Jack is up there sitting at the bottom of the ocean, frozen, thinking, "Man, I made the right choice." Seeing his girl get piped.
Exactly. That shit was totally just fucking
down by
fake.
other dudes in the afterlife. I'd become a ghost. Fuck that. You not even my girl, and I'm supposed to sacrifice my life?
Nope.
Hell no. Fuck the Titanic. Fuck that shit. Absolutely not.
No, it's not happening.
That's so cool.
How many times have I been on a pack train and the woman bag?
Crazy.
Oh, with the
here's
woman
thing,
with
too.
the bag.
It's not like women revere men when they sacrifice their life. They don't build a shrine. They don't do nothing. They just act entitled.
You know what
entitled
the fuck
to
the
you
thing is? You know what
losing your life.
You know what the fuck?
Yes. Entitled to you dying for them because they're a woman.
The thing is, there are shrines for the Titanic. Men build those.
It's okay to say, listen, I like the idea of men sacrificing for the women, the vulnerable. Fine, okay, I understand that. But you don't even do it with an ounce of respect or admiration.
No, they just expect it. They just expect it, and then they say that men aren't men anymore. Because it's actually because they don't just get automatic seats given to them on the train.
Or reverence.
And nobody got
on one hand, y'all be talking shit about these dudes. At the same time, you expected them to sacrifice their life, and it's just why would they?
Ain't nobody gonna have respect.
Yeah,
for
why
you for
would
somebody.
they sacrifice themselves for an entitled bitch like you who's like, oh my god, give me everything I want just because I'm a woman?
That you were supposed to do.
Because
I went to kindergarten. Sit the fuck up. You're supposed to go.
Yeah.
You're supposed to go. You're not gonna get a medal for going. You're gonna get a medal for succeeding at something. So they're not gonna have respect for you. You're supposed to sacrifice your life.
I'm sorry.
Look at that. There's no reasoning behind it. But I'm supposed to get up when I see you.
It doesn't need. The
We're
logic
2024.
is you're a man.
Yeah. No.
And also,
the logic is you have a penis, I have a vagina, therefore you shouldn't be sitting on that floor or on that chair.
Say bring real men back. Yo, bring the old women back then. Yeah, if you guys want those guys from the past, y'all need to be the people from the past too. But
there's a few chicks like this on the bus I ride. Oh, that's unfortunate.
So stop bringing that shit up. I really hate it when people do men, you guys sound just like red pillars. You sound identical to red pillars.
They do. They're like the female version of the red pill shit. Oh, men should be doing this because I'm a woman. Oh, women should be doing this because
women back in the day, the modern women, the water. But what you doing? You talking shit about the modern man. You see how it's two sides of the same coin with a lot of this goofy shit?
Let me you want to bring the old people back from the Titanic. Let's be honest. If it was the Titanic, boo-boo, you wouldn't be on the boat, or you'd be on a boat going somewhere else, if you know what I'm saying. Anyways, move on.
Yeah. And where did all that self-sacrifice get us? It get us to a point where a lot of women just openly talk shit about men every single day.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, what incentive do men do? They don't feel like they're that valued by y'all.
What incentive do men have to make that sacrifice when women are doing nothing but shitting all over men?
You actually realize that if the Titanic happened in 2024,
they'll beat us
women
up.
are
We are pissed.
You're cooked.
We are pissed.
The
They'll even,
whole thing is
they
gonna
will
have
use
men on
you
it.
for the lifeboat. You see Kate, what's his name? What's his name? Jack? Jack would have used Kate as a lifeboat. It would have sat on her head.
Bruh. What are you talking about? What, like, seriously, what are these bitches even talking
It would
about?
be so bad. When you actually think about it, the fact that back then it was like this gentlemanly thing to be like, no, you need to live.
Yeah.
Even if I die, it's okay.
Yeah.
Now,
chivalry,
it's actually on the floor. That is a very...
Wait, it's chivalry is dead because men don't want to die for you anymore? Really? That means chivalry is dead. Okay.
Very valid complaint.
I had no idea.
Absolutely, I'm glad because I like living. Sorry.
So your life is more valued than mine. I gotta sacrifice.
I'm not saying my life is more valued than yours. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying may the best man win.
Yep.
There's one lifeboat, one spot. The same way I would compete with another man, I'm gonna compete with another woman.
Mm-hmm. Because it's 2024, and if they want the equal treatment, then they can get it.
It's the last spot. Whoever wins, and if the woman beats me to it, you know what I say?
Good for you.
Congratulations.
Enjoy life. But why am I supposed to give up the pleasures of life for some idealism?
If
and
I
then
got
I'm just gonna be a footnote in history, and she gonna get no. I'm always for men protecting the women and the children in their lives.
Yes, in their lives. But just because a random woman shows up doesn't mean that you should automatically sacrifice yourself.
A random, and I gotta die for it? I with this shit. Personally.
Because it's so
Chivalry
bad.
was honoring between knights, not behavior towards women. Just tell them if you identify as a woman and call them a TERF if they get ugly.
And I've complained about this actually. On the show.
Really?
Yeah, it's been one of my complaints.
And what about the, like, when it comes to, like, helping you with the luggage as well? Because I see women be talking about that sometimes as well. Like, guys will see women with luggage and they'll just walk past. I'm like, rah.
Why should they help you with your luggage if they don't even know you or it's not their job? If they're not a porter, why should they help you?
Nah, man. Nah, I'm not. I don't want to be accused of nothing.
See you with luggage and they walked past. I mean, listen, most luggage I see nowadays got wheels on it, so you can pull that bitch.
No, they talk about when you go over the the top bin.
I help anybody. I help
women don't
everybody. Like if I
understand
see someone
chivalry.
struggling
No, they
with
don't.
getting their shit up there, I just help people.
Yeah.
That's generally how I am. I try to be helpful to everybody. So even if it was a guy, he was struggling to get up there, he's a bit shorter, like I'm helping him, it doesn't matter.
Short things.
But if you look like you fine, generally like them overheads, it's not that big and you can do it. And
Yeah, like, it's an overhead. It's not like it's out of reach. It's not like it's only for giants to put their stuff in.
also think about this too. Think about this. Sometimes you go to help and the people are just like, what? Did I ask you?
Yeah.
Why are you just assuming and put your hands on my shit? So it's one of them ones.
Exactly. People are more likely to get angry with you for assuming they need help than to just like that's why they just
I think it's
ignore
cool to
it.
offer. I think it's cool to help people, but I'm not going to help you because you're a woman. Isn't that not patronizing?
We're done. We're done. With
It
that.
is.
We're done with
no,
it.
but isn't it patronizing
100%.
to just be like, I don't think you can do this on your own? Now, if you
Very
be like, "Can you help
patronizing. That's one of the biggest problems in disability, like in accessibility help, is asking a disabled person if they need any assistance without being patronizing. That's one of the biggest things that people are worried about.
I'm more than happy to. What's wrong with you asking?
And then their response is going to be like, I could do it, but I want you to do it. Okay, you're lazy.
Yeah.
Here's what kills me too. If you ask most men for help with it, most of them would immediately do it.
But they don't want to ask.
Right.
They don't want to have to ask.
So you expected us to go out of our way to just do the physical labor for you, but you can't be bothered to just be like, hey, could you help me with this luggage?
Yeah, of course not. Why would you have to ask? Everybody should just know that you need help with the luggage.
Many people have asked me before. Women have asked me, and I'm like, I'm happy to. Am I less of a man because I didn't do it without you asking? I don't know. To me, it's just this whole conversation, the way it's unfolding, it reeks of an extreme entitlement.
Oh, it
you know?
does.
The same entitlement
Absolutely,
that makes you think that the world should bend over backwards without you asking for help. The same entitlement that thinks that I should lose my life so you can live, a person I've never met before. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's unbelievably entitled. I see women who have their bags on the seat and act like you asked them to blow you when you asked them to move. Oh, yeah.
What about the women in my life who rely on me?
What
about my mom?
Those women
my
are
girl,
awful.
My children? They no longer have me because I want to sacrifice myself for you. Is that a good thing?
So I'm not even sacrificing my life. I'm sacrificing everybody else around me's life.
Right.
That's crazy.
Right.
Yeah, no. You don't just because you exist doesn't mean somebody should sacrifice their life for you.
This is the part about it that's the most important. What standard is, whatever. When they speak about men having to die for them, there is no amount of respect for it. They don't speak about it with any kind of sanctity for life. It's an expectation.
Yeah.
You should lose your life.
You should die for me. And if you don't want to, then chivalry is dead. No,
so I can
sorry.
wait. Mm-hmm. The gravity of it is nowhere in their speech at all. And you see it too when people talk about like events that happen in life or whatever. They'll be like 100 people died, including 10 women and 3 children. So like 95% of it was dudes, and they're not even like mentioned properly. It's just something about the way that men are just expected to die for others, irrespective of whatever life goals and aspirations they had, that I find a bit gross in this kind of speech. You know what it feels like? It feels like the same entitlement that a lot of conservatives or people have in regards to women and their bodies when it comes to like maintaining things. And it's like you feel that entitled, but you don't feel the need to support them when they have their kid. You don't need to feel to support them and make sure they have the right services when the children are brought into this world and are growing up. It's like,
it's funny how most people that are pro-life are.
I suppose you can get away with asking for a hand if they need a hand, as I'm older and more approachable looking. Getting rid of patriarchy and women need to be fully self-sufficient without asking. Yep.
For the electric chair and no war and all that shit. Depends on the life, I guess.
Exactly.
And they can hear you huffing and puffing, or
you even huff and puff louder.
They don't. Oh yes, huff and puff louder. Be passive aggressive. That'll get people to help you.
Okay, and they'll just be like, move out of the way.
Or they'll probably even tell you, make sure you don't lift with your back.
Or they'll be
Make
like,
sure you lift with your legs.
excuse me, and then you're like, hi, and they're like, oh,
yeah,
okay, excuse me, please, and then they walk past you.
Listen,
it's so bad.
It really is bad.
That is a valid complaint.
All that huffing and puffing. Could you help me? Of course, problem solved. That's all it takes. Could you help me? But you guys are so entitled.
All you have to do is
that
ask
even the
for
idea
help.
of asking is offensive to you. And then when you don't ask and you don't get what you didn't ask for, then you complain about it on a podcast. It's crazy.
They don't talk.
Bitch, use your words.
They don't talk.
Use your fucking words.
They don't talk.
Yeah. Seriously, use your words. Don't huff and puff like a passive aggressive bitch. And you'll get somewhere. People will help you. I don't understand. How do people even function this way? Racist woman goes insane after getting exposed. Oh, this is a Code Blue Cam video that we can look at. That'll probably take us to our 5 o'clock deadline, because that's another 11 minutes.
On the evening of November 17th, 2024, Police were dispatched to investigate the report of a disturbance outside a local apartment complex in La Crosse, Wisconsin. Witnesses described a 55-year-old woman shouting and threatening bystanders.
Jesus Christ, that's a huge disparity in suicides. That's insane. Childish behavior gets you noticed but gets you nothing. Exactly.
Situation escalated. She allegedly approached an individual and directed racist remarks toward them. Once police finally arrived, she showed no hesitation in expressing her thoughts.
Oh, good. So this is some crazy lady that we're gonna look at.
Cross Police, what's the issue?
Oh, of course, it's La Crosse.
So, you don't have no family members left? Is that what's
She's
going
just
on?
going on about some racist.
Racist? I'm talking to you about your family members. How is that racist?
I'm talking to you about your family members. How is that racist? She sounds very drunk.
No, that's it.
I have a bunch of videos I can check, but it's somewhere along the lines of, did you see how red this country was?
Yeah. Did you not see how red this country was when they...
Did you not see how red this country was?
Over
here.
What?
Yeah. Did you not see how red this country was when they voted?
Did you not see how red this country was when they voted? Okay, is this an anti-Trumper?
Yeah, it's red. Is that a big thing?
You got ID on you, boss? Not on me, but this is my car.
Is it really code blue cam if it's not La Crosse? No.
What's going on?
Nothing.
Well, why are we getting calls about you?
Because he got hurt feelings.
About?
Because he has got hurt feelings. I don't like the fact that the country is red. Or maybe I do. I haven't figured it out yet.
What?
I don't know. Ask him.
Okay. Do you live here?
No, I was walking through and he got hurt feelings. He said, hold on, I'm calling the cops. I said, okay.
What are his feelings hurt about?
Because I told him it don't matter who's president.
Okay.
You sound like you're definitely more than just drunk. I have a feeling.
The president's gonna fix the country. Oh, you're prejudiced. No, I'm not.
Wait, what did she say?
Fix the country. Oh, you're prejudiced. No, I'm not. And it went on.
I got you. Do you have ID on you?
No.
What's your name?
No.
I ain't giving you nothing.
I ain't giving you nothing. She's so out of it.
I talked to an attorney.
Okay.
I want to talk to a lawyer right now, at this moment.
Do you have a lawyer?
I'll get one.
Okay.
Or book me in.
I'll get one.
What?
Book me in and I'll...
Book me in and I'll
one.
get a lawyer.
What's your plan for the rest of the night?
I'm going home. That's where I was going, but he wanted me to hang out here to talk to you.
Gotcha.
Why? I don't know.
Dude, she is so fucking drunk. I can hear it. Like, she's definitely had some whiskey to drink, I
Why
think.
you want me to talk to you? I don't know.
So what happened, man?
So I'm coming out. I'm going to get groceries, and she came up to me and she was like, "Can I ask you something?" She's like, "These girls, I was trying to talk to them. They ran inside like I was gonna." Them. I'm like,
whoa. Okay.
So I keep walking, and she starts talking to me about how red it is, how I'm invading.
No, rest me. I'll go.
How red it is
Why
and
do you
how
wanna go to
I'm
jail?
invading.
Mm-hmm.
Did you do anything?
I don't want to go to jail. He wants me to go to jail.
Dude, what have you taken? Seriously. Like, what has she taken? She sounds so gone.
Anything physical?
Weirdo.
Did anything
You
physical?
acting stupid. Ask me a real question, ignorant fool.
Yeah.
Okay. Somebody's getting agitated.
You've had quite a bit to drink tonight, haven't you?
No, I haven't.
I can smell it coming from
No, I have had a drink, but what I'm saying is you asking stupid. Like President Trump said, you a Democrat. You acting stupid.
Oh, God, she's a pro-Trumper. She's a pro-Trumper and she's being an idiot.
I don't think Trump
He asked me over here to talk to you. I come over here to talk to you.
I'd start taking videos and she's like, "No, I didn't say that." I'd take the phone down. She's like, "Yellow," just talking. She's like, "What do you want in the country? Do you have your family?" It's like, just Absolute nonsense.
What you trying to figure out, bro?
Did anything physical happen between you guys?
No, I don't like him. He's not sexy. I'm not sexually attracted to him.
Did you
so
punch
no.
him?
Punch him?
What the fuck? I'm not sexually attracted to him? That's not what he meant by anything physical happening, dude.
Did he punch me?
That's what I'm trying to
Why don't
figure
you
out.
go ask him?
I'm asking you.
Then I got to the point, I was like, I'm trying to leave. And she's like, get in the car. I swear I won't do anything. I was like, I don't want to touch the car.
Do you want to pursue charges?
No.
Sure.
I mean, what is the process?
It'll be a ticket.
Valium is something
Okay, then, yeah.
combined with alcohol. Yeah.
He did. He touched me.
Okay.
He touched
pushed
you.
me
huh?
like this.
He pushed you?
Yeah.
Did you push him?
You know better. No, we didn't touch each other.
But you just said he pushed you. I'm confused.
Why are you acting stupid and asking stupid questions?
Ma'am.
Ignorant.
Did you get a name?
No, he's asking stupid. No, I'm not giving you an ID.
You are... She is very, very drunk.
So here's the thing.
Then take me to jail.
Yep.
I'm not giving you an ID.
Here, let me talk to you quick.
I'm not giving you an ID. He asked me over. He talking stupid, called me a white crank. What the f is a crank?
Somebody that does meth?
What the f is a crank?
I have no idea.
Ask
but
him.
I'm trying to talk
Ask
to you.
him.
Okay. So.
No, you coming over
She
here.
is one more
threatening.
rum and coke away from being everyone's best friend. And no one understands her.
That's what you're doing. Once you bring them shoulders back and quit acting like I'm the criminal, huh? How
Well,
about
you
that?
are the criminal right now. You're the one drunk in public and acting like a crazy person.
Are you done talking?
How about you be done talking?
Well, you haven't given me an
Well,
opportunity
no,
to talk.
because you already took his side. So bring your shoulders down because they don't
Bring
scare
your
me.
shoulders down because they don't scare me. I didn't know shoulders were a way of scaring
Well,
people.
then I know.
Okay. Well, I'm just trying to talk to you. I'm not trying to
Well,
scare
then
you.
talk and quit like that
The
at
fuck?
Because it don't work. It makes me more angry.
Sounds.
When a man acts like they can dominate a woman, it's stupid.
Okay.
Oh,
We're just out here
God.
with you because.
Are you a pro-Trumper or are you a feminist? Which one are you? Do you even know? Do you know what your stance is at the moment, lady? I don't think you do.
Sounds like you were bugging some of the.
No, I was standing here. He came to me.
Okay. Well, it sounds like you made some inappropriate racial.
No, I
comments
didn't.
towards
That's
him.
what he
Yeah,
said.
you did.
I could tell you what he said. Would you believe me?
Well,
and
what
say
did-
it
what did he
sounds
say?
like she said you said this.
What
Bullshit.
did he say to you?
No, it don't matter.
I was
In court
drunk
of
in
law,
public,
he
then they
said
made
she
me
said
drunk
bullshit.
in public, officer.
So don't bring that to me.
Well, I'm just trying to figure out what he said.
No.
Are you gonna?
Now she sounds
do you
like
have
she's
ID on
gonna
you?
cry. Is she gonna be a crying drunk?
I'm not giving you ID. I ain't done nothing for you to ID me.
What's your name?
It don't matter. Ask
Yes,
him.
it does. Ask him. I don't think he knows your name, dude.
Someone that called you, you're gonna put on gloves like I'm gonna arrest her. I gotta put on gloves.
Well, I
Is that it? Is that what you're doing?
I just like
All
my
right,
hands
let's
to be
go.
clean.
He wants to arrest me. Let's go.
Yeah, you are gonna be arrested because you're being disorderly.
Oh, he wants to arrest me.
So what's your name?
He wants to arrest me. Go ahead.
What's your name?
I ain't giving you that.
Okay. Well,
Arrest
if you
me,
don't
that's
give me
fine.
your name, you're gonna go to jail.
All right, let's go.
Okay. Place your hands behind your back. You're under arrest.
We have quite a few silly bins like this. I work with 2 of them. I just ignored him. I just ignored them. Hilariously, they have alienated everybody else on the team.
No.
I'm shocked.
Done nothing wrong.
You're under arrest for obstructing disorderly conduct.
I ain't done nothing.
And I don't know if you have any bonds or anything, or if you're on probation.
Take me down. We'll find out. We'll find out.
55
Let's
for next
go.
Well, how are we supposed to find out if you won't give anybody your name?
I tried to give you plenty of chances to talk to me, to provide a
Yeah, he's the one that
identification
said
card,
it, not
and
me.
I'm not gonna play these games of
I
stupidity
didn't
with
say
you,
that.
Okay?
Yeah, you did.
So you are going to jail. There's nothing changing my mind about
I
that.
didn't say that. Serious. That's all right. Take me.
You're also gonna have a no contact
To who?
here.
Where is this anyway?
Where is this? Do you even know where you are?
What is this place?
You have a
What is
t-shirt
this place? Oh, good.
What is is this place, though? For real. I'm asking. You ain't gonna tell me?
What do you mean you don't know where you are? Are we having a blackout episode?
I don't know. You tell me. Where do you
I
think
don't
you are?
know. I think I'm about to call.
You are correct.
No, quit. I ain't got no guns. What are you looking for?
We have to empty all your pockets.
A what?
We have to empty all your pockets by the
Oh,
jail
yeah, I
policy.
ain't got. That's my freaking. What, you trying to get my money?
No.
Depending on our areas, they can't arrest just based on that. Okay.
I have. It's by policy. I have to.
What
check
do you
it.
want? I ain't got no. You think I'm a terrorist?
Jesus Christ, I can't even understand half the shit she's saying. She is so drunk that I can't understand what she's talking about.
Weirdo. The fuck? You all up in my You all up in my
Don't breathe
You
in
all.
my face.
Get out. Turn your turn your camera on.
Ma'am.
You all in my
Camera is
I
on.
need to.
You all in my titty. You're in my titty. You're in my titty. You're funny. You're in my titty.
Can you stop saying that, please, lady?
That. I forgot about that. You so naughty.
Will you provide a breath sample to see how much you've been drinking?
Nope.
Nope.
All right.
Y'all gotta get my lawyer. I want a lawyer.
Who's your lawyer?
Now, I want a lawyer.
Who's your lawyer? I'll call him up.
After being placed inside the squad car, she began aggressively barking at K9.
She's speaking drunk Tretanese.
Rock.
I want a lawyer. You getting done at me?
She began aggressively barking at K9 Rock.
Oh, so she started egging on the K9 officer. Brilliant.
I want a lawyer. You getting done at me?
All right, have a seat back there.
Idiot.
Hey.
Jesus Christ. She is done. She is done.
Stop doing that, please.
I used to love it when I lived on Wallasey Docks. You would get drunks and Muppets mouthing off, and you would have Port Police don't dick around. No, I guess not. Somebody let the dog bite her. Let the dog eat her.
If she was a 3-0, she wouldn't be walking.
Can you just have the county ready for me? Did they say any bonds or any?
I just ran her.
I did. I ID'd him. He said he had some videos. Can you just grab them?
Yeah.
Hey, Mike, real quick. Do you think the hate crime statute will fall under this?
I'll read it and
let me know.
As she persisted in communicating with K9 Rock.
I love how that's how the Code Blue Cam guy is putting it. As she persisted on communicating with K9 Rock,
she started banging her head around.
Stop banging your head.
She's being arrested for non-compliance on other questions, plus lawyer can't be invoked until after your Miranda read. Yep. Give her some medicine. She's in line for a nice chat with a community health official. Yeah.
Rights and resources as a victim of a crime. Sweet. Did you have videos?
I do have some videos.
Did you show him?
I didn't. No.
Okay, you just want to show me quick?
Stop.
Put her in the fucking cocoon of shame.
Stop banging your head.
She doesn't sound like she's barking anymore. Sounds like she's growling.
Trying to time up her racial comments to when my phone was put down, but...
Alright, I'm gonna give you one more chance to get the fuck out of here, okay?
47. They are out the county. Starting villages. 3-2 break. 3-2 break.
Jesus.
And I'd put the phone down and then she'd just make racial comments, but she's... I would have gotten in the car, but she was making it seem like she was going to kick it or something.
Jesus Christ. Cocoon her. Put her in the hobble of shame.
Why do you say that? Because coming from the generations, you are a disappointment in all areas of life.
Bam!
Make her a corn dog.
Stop doing that!
Soft cuff, spit hood, horizontal restraint. Yep. What the fuck is her problem? Give her some Halidol. Holy shit. She's not barking anymore. She's just screaming.
Oh, she's banging her head the whole time here. Yeah, she's yelling. Nope. Just going, ah!
The dog has a new toy. You know shit.
In the end, the 55-year-old woman was only charged with misdemeanor disorderly conduct and was released 2 days later on a $1,000 signature bond.
She had to spend 2 days in jail. Holy shit. But 55 years old? That's pathetic. That is just absolutely pathetic. 55 years old acting like that. That is just pathetic. 447. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Let's see. 3 live streams right now on CPAC. I love it when we get screamers at protests or get in our face. They don't even seem to know how. That's funny. That's funny. National finance. No, where is... Let's just go to YouTube. Because they have got to broadcast the fall economic statement after today. Okay. Let's go to this. Let's actually go to the channel. Let's see. Live. Cabinet swearing in ceremony at Rideau Hall? No. Question period? No. Where is this statement? Interesting. I do not see anything with the starting soon for the fall economic statement. Ladies like her make me think the cab killer had a good police too. You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. Let's take a look at the YouTube notifications. Oops. That's not what I wanted to do. Nope. Let's see. This is interesting. I want to watch this live, but all right, well, let's see. Yes, it's it's supposed to be at 5 o'clock. Okay, well, I'm gonna put this on break screen and go get a drink of water. So share the stream while I'm gone. I will be right back. All right. We are back. And we are oops. That's not what I wanted. CBC is saying some things about LeBlanc being sworn in. Yeah, Dominic LeBlanc, I think he's being the new finance minister. Cabinet swearing in ceremony at Rideau Hall. That's happening at 9 p.m. or 9 a.m. in the morning.
I want to start by saying there is nothing in his statement with which I could disagree, because it vaulted us into a frenzy of patriotism. I love this country. There's no place in the world I would rather live than being Canadian. But the Honourable Leader of the Official Opposition also maybe gave us a chance to get to know him a bit better. What would he do instead? He mentioned he'd met a waitress. He's known me a long time. I was a waitress. I waitressed for more than a decade, couldn't afford to go to university, but only in Canada was it possible that for me to go to law school as a mature student. I want to ask the honourable member, since I didn't join a political party until I was over 50, what jobs has he held in real life outside of politics that make him think he could be Prime Minister?
Order. The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
I'd be happy to talk about the jobs, Mr. Speaker. My first job in here was to help pass the Federal Accountability Act to crack down on the corruption that we've seen on the local side. Then I helped cut the GST so that Canadians could save when they made every single consumer purchase 7 to 6 to 5%. Then I worked with Prime Minister Harper to help balance the budget and to rebuild the military so that we would have necessary equipment to help destroy Al-Qaeda after the attacks of 9/11. Helped deliver the lowest inflation of any government in 40 years, leaving behind a balanced budget and the best balance sheet of any government in the G7. In fact, it turns out the job experience I have is best aligned with the job that I promised to do. Now let's bring it home.
Yes. Good answer.
Questions and comments. Question commentaire. The Honourable Member from Leeds, Grenville, Thousand Islands and Vito Lakes.
Thank you. Well, thank you. And of course, the words of the Leader of the Official Opposition do bring great hope to Canadians at a time when they need it most. This government had committed, this Liberal Prime Minister committed to a $40 billion, a massive $40 billion deficit as the guardrail. Now, of course, that's an irresponsible number at $40 billion, but that's what their promise was. And they smashed through it. And who are the they? It's that NDP Liberal Prime Minister and Carbon Tax Carney, his real economic advisor. And they tried to pin this massive failure on their finance minister. Now, she declared that she didn't have confidence in the Prime Minister and that she wouldn't support him. So my question to the Leader of the Official Opposition, and I know that he'll have some very insightful wisdom for Canadians, is what can Canadians look forward to that a common sense Conservative government would do to restore fiscal sanity and clean up this $62 billion mess?
Our governments have helped each other a lot over the years when Obama happened. Yep.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
$62 billion mess. That is such a tough question. I almost didn't want to stand up and answer it for a second there. But it is a big mess. It is an incredible mess that this Prime Minister will leave behind when he takes run, and I understand that might happen any minute. As Carbon Tax Carney is lining up, you almost wonder if Carbon Tax Carney planned it all this way. You know, he's the top economic advisor. He pushed all of these extra spending measures on the finance minister, and then she objected to the crazy $62 billion deficit. She's out now. The Prime Minister might soon be out. And who will walk up? Well, Carbon Tax Carney. Taking the wheel of the bus after he helped crash it, Mr. Speaker. But he's not the only one. There's also the getaway car. Who's been driving the getaway car? The NDP. The NDP leader. Today he said that the Prime Minister should resign. And yet, just days ago, he voted to keep the Prime Minister exactly where he is. So it is time for the NDP leader to state clearly that he has not only lost confidence in the Prime Minister, but he is prepared to vote non-confidence or take any other legal steps necessary to express non-confidence in this Prime Minister in order to trigger a carbon tax election as soon as possible.
Yes.
Resuming debate. The honourable member from New Westminster Burnaby is rising on a point of order.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. There have been consultations amongst the parties, and if you seek it, I believe you'll find unanimous consent for the following motion: that notwithstanding any standing order, special order, or usual practice of the House, the member for Vancouver Kingsway be permitted to speak a second time to this sub-amendment.
All those opposed to the honourable member moving the motion will please say nay. Agreed. The House has heard the terms of the motion. All those opposed to the motion will please say nay. Carried. Resuming, reprise de débat, l'honorable député.
Resuming debate.
Je devrais commencer par vous dire que je vais partager.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I will be sharing my time with the member for Joliette. Well, this is a very unusual
We
situation.
50% overspend. We all do it. I often buy a 16-inch seafood rather
It's total chaos.
than a 12-inch
Going
chicken
back
and mushroom
to
pizza.
the fall economic statement,
food.
it's basically a horror story. We've been asking for an economic statement for some time. It's traditional that the government update Canadians as to its economic record. We've been talking about this since November. And they kept dithering about it. But then, finally, they made a decision. They decided to do it right before the end of the parliamentary session. And to
So
bring
yeah, it's just the
the
swearing-in
absurdity to the
ceremony
highest
right
possible
now.
point, they waited until the last minute to present the fall economic statement. And yet,
Say nay, are they horses?
craziest thing of all
yes,
is that
yes,
the
they are.
Minister of Finance, the Deputy Prime Minister, stepped down. And she said, no, I refuse to table this. And she decided, no, I'm leaving. And she left, and I think that showed a great deal of nobility, in fact.
It did.
So now,
I
we
don't
know
like
if this is an
Krista
economic
Freeland,
update.
but for her to
we
leave,
don't have a Minister of Finance.
that was pretty awesome.
Then we learned that there will be a new Minister of Finance.
And LeBlanc is the
It sounds
Minister
like the
of
person in
Public
question
Safety and Procurement,
is kind of
I think.
a jack of all trades. In fact, he's kind of like a fireman. He just pops up to fix things. Wait, I'm so sorry to interrupt the member, but there are members in this house who seem to be chatting away. And yet, when their leader was speaking, none of them said anything. So I would ask them to leave and to show respect to the honorable member for La Prairie. Well, thank you. So they seem to have turned to this jack of all trades who always steps in to help them, and he will be the new Minister of Finance. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to understand that if you're tabling the document, which they did, then you should debate it. But nope, they've decided to muzzle Parliament. They are acting like a chameleon who's on a piece of Scottish tartan, constantly changing their approach, so to speak.
God, this translator is terrible.
Well, darn, we're pretty excited about this economic update. We say to ourselves, well, it must be something remarkable. Nope. We didn't get any of the essential information. And yet the Minister of Finance stood up and put her hand on her heart in April and said there would not be a deficit above 40 billion. And I'm sure that she meant it. And yet there's been a series of disasters ever since. In October, It
Is
had
this
reached
a move by
46.8 billion.
Christia to pretend she has integrity for when she runs
And since then,
as a stalking
it's just
horse
been a
candidate?
festival of electioneering.
That's actually a
And
good
just
baubles
for
question.
Canadians. So that was a huge amount of spending. Meanwhile, this prime minister, who basically seems to be hyperactive when it comes to spending, that brought the deficit to 48.3 billion. But that's not it. That's not it at all. Because there are still 3.5 months until the end of the fiscal.
Yeah.
You'll hear more about that later from my colleague. But if you look at what's going on here and you ask yourself, what on earth is going on here? And yet, it's not actually that surprising, except for one thing. The Minister of Finance has stepped down. She's the one who was supposed to table the update.
And where is the update?
Left. She said, "Oh, I'm not touching this," because she has principle. Madam Speaker, perhaps the Prime Minister should treat her as a role model. She promised that it wouldn't go above 40 billion. But the Prime Minister didn't agree. In fact, the previous Finance Minister, Mr. Morneau, stepped down because he thought that not enough was being spent. And once again here, the Prime Minister doesn't think that the Prime Minister, this Finance Minister,
I wonder if,
it's
you
very
know
easy
what?
to spend other people's money. And that's what this Prime Minister
I think that he's doing the fall budget in the swearing-in ceremony. That's what I think. I think that's what it's being hidden at.
Weekends off. Time to have those responsibilities. I don't diminish for a minute the work that's before our government. The good news is I have colleagues and officials that will support me. I'm confident that Canadians will see a government focused on their priorities. And
yes.
As I said, it's the cost of living challenges they're facing, and the relationship with the United States is obviously a huge focus. I remember Mr. Mulrooney, the late Right Honourable Brian Mulrooney, telling us that
I don't think Canada has lost the truth. I think Canada is about to bounce back, I think we are about to see a very big swing to what's hopefully going to be more centrist.
Relationship was critical for the economic success of our country. He was an example of how to do that well. So I thought about him today and over the last number of weeks when I was developing, I hope, constructive relationships with incoming secretaries and officials in President Trump's administration, and do the work that will benefit Canadians.
Chrystia Freeland had some very pointed criticisms for the way this government is handling its finances, including calling, presumably the GST holiday a political gimmick, and suggesting the government's being irresponsible with Canadians' funds and not keeping its powder dry ahead of this fight with Donald Trump. How are you going to approach things differently, and what do you make of her criticisms?
Chrystia Freeland is somebody that I have worked with for well over a decade. She's somebody that I admire as a colleague, that I appreciate as a friend.
Yes, she's a friend. She's a friend. She's super friendly to you right now. Yes,
that's a great deal for our government as Foreign Affairs Minister, as International Trade Minister, as Intergovernmental Affairs Minister, and most recently as Finance Minister. She has a proud record of delivering for Canadians programs as important as a national child care program,
which we don't
Canada
need.
Canadian dental benefit. So I'm proud of her record as Minister of Finance. She's contributed to the public policy life of our country in an exemplary way. And I look forward now to assuming the responsibility of being Minister of Finance, talking to my colleagues as we prepare for what will be a 2025 budget.
So when will the fall economic statement be announced?
And I have a lot of confidence in the decisions our government, our cabinet has made, but
He
will
looks like
obviously
a
do
guy
my job
standing
as
in
Minister
front of
of
a
Finance over the
firing
coming
squad.
months.
That's what he sounds like.
En français, Chrystia Freeland, par beaucoup de gens pense par exemple de soins dentaires, mais quand elle était ministre de soins dentaires, ministre du commerce international au début de notre gouvernement, elle a accompli beaucoup. Les responsabilités maintenant de préparer un budget pour 2025 sont.
So wait, we're not going to get a fall economic statement? Now he's going to prepare a 2025 budget? But what about the budget?
Avec mes collègues, passé, je note, mais en préparation pour un budget, j'ai bien l'intention de travailler avec des amis que j'ai dans d'autres formations politiques aussi. Merci beaucoup. Thank you very much. Have a nice evening.
That's it? No fall economic statement. They've put LeBlanc in charge of the finances. And now we're not getting the fall economic statement, and Parliament rises tomorrow. What the fuck? What the... They have to release the statement. It would be political suicide not to. There's gotta be something. Like, where is it? Where is the fucking statement? Is he going over to...
Hey, who was it? Did Trudeau say that, or was that no?
Wait, what? Did Trudeau say what?
Did Trudeau say anything yet?
No. Yeah, there's... What the fuck? This is nuts. No one will trust any statement on tax or economy until they release the statement. What is, I know we're fucked and I don't want everyone to know how bad it is. Yeah, you're not wrong there, Ghost Dog. This is nuts. This is insane. How is there no fucking statement? I'm checking Twitter for National Post. This is nuts. How did wait, CTV says that it delivered the economic statement. When?
Video player advertise. CTV News opens in a vertical line.
Oh, stupid fucking Twitter. I hate Twitter sometimes. The rumor mill is going to be working overtime tonight. So apparently they did release the economic statement. I'm going to look up the CTV article. Where's the article I just saw? CTV News. Feds deliver fall economic statement. Here we go. Here's the article.
If you're looking for work or you're ready to make a change, Partners in Employment.
Oh, with an ad, of course.
From all of us
Fucking ads.
Happy holidays. Let's work together to start 2025 strong.
And more ads. Fucking ads. I just want an article that tells me what $62 billion is the deficit. The statement has been delivered, but it is not allowed to be discussed. Yeah, exactly. And so it's a $62 billion deficit that we are now. So we're now $22 billion over the $40 billion guardrail that Chrystia Freeland wanted to not go past. And so now we have the Minister for Public Safety and Procurement as also the Finance Minister, Dominic LeBlanc. Yay. Fucking wonderful. Just wonderful. So that's basically all I have. Oh, there's a link. Let's see. Where's my Twitter? There's my Twitter. Thank you, Fury Kitten. Okay, here we go. Let's take a look.
Okay, here it is. No,
What?
they are not presenting it. They released it, but they're not going to present it.
Okay.
So,
I already found out that it's $22 billion over
well,
budget.
that's what we've all been saying. No, we all want to know why. Because, well, no, they released it, okay? But they didn't present it, which means they won't be, like, talking about it openly online or anything. They
Right.
released it so that little thing that's covered in the back room there, they uncovered it and said, here you are.
Oh, they lifted up the black blanket.
Yeah.
And let the press look at it. That's
Right, and so according to the insiders that are going on, Fergus is not allowing the budget to be debated.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's what the inside sources are all saying. Andrew Scheer calls for House Speaker Greg Fergus to find the government in contempt of Parliament after stating they'll no longer be delivering the fall economic statement before the announcement was set to be made. The government is absolutely pathetic.
By the government House leader to the House, indicating that the government does not intend to proceed with the statement at
That's insane. This is how they're gonna try to save face, huh?
Yeah, they're hide. They're just gonna run and hide.
Wow. I can't believe that.
Yeah, Frank Caputo just put out the government which asked for Frank Caputo, as of an hour ago, in the House of Commons, the government which asked for time to deliver their fall economic statement right now is now refusing to do so. So they've been fighting about this for over an hour.
That's insane. That's nuts. They're hiding behind everything.
Yep.
And then they're gonna break tomorrow.
Yep.
But they care about Canadians, and they're standing up for us. Well, I think that's gonna be the stream for now. It's been done a 3-hour stream. I need to go figure out dinner. So I'm gonna do that. But thank you guys for watching the chaos that was Canadian Parliament today. I don't know if I'll be back to game tonight. I will see. Maybe we'll figure out the Last of Us thing later tonight. I talked to some other blind people and they had to have their sighted friends help them. So I don't feel too badly now. But anyway, I'm going to go eat. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the chaos. And I'll see you guys later. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. Thank you for watching. See you.